This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Danny, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy Nairn Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, Light Blinded Fool, Davis Ferreira, and Kristen Gilreath. Before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Marta Thier to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Super exciting to have you on board because you're our newest producer-level patron to join the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. So, Marta Thier joins the ranks of Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Mozai, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Margaret, Charlie Has, Adam, Hannah Green, Lance Barden, and Elspeth Ahola. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We honestly couldn't do this without you. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 21 and 22 of Winter's Heart.
Yeah, so chapter 21 is A Matter of Property, and chapter 22 is Out of Thin Air.
Yeah, I know.
My favorite chapter.
You told me that.
Yeah, I did.
Uh-huh.
I do want to say, although you did bring me a holiday beverage...
I did do that, yeah.
I don't see a bottle of whiskey here.
You're right. I was going to say,
I'm concerned.
You'll notice I didn't... bring a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, no ice cream cake either.
Okay, so here's the thing.
You gotta see how you feel about things.
Yeah, I'm not conceding.
Okay.
I'm not conceding just yet.
That's fair.
My plan was to see how this conversation goes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna read you.
Gotcha.
To make my decision throughout our conversation.
Okay. You're assuming you're gonna land on like one side or the other today?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know I'm going to try and push you into giving me a bottle of whiskey then. Like, that's
what
I want.
But if you're going to push me into giving you a bottle of whiskey, then you have to also say definite confirmations.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, we're, conundrum there.
So we'll see.
But we get a lot of other questions answered this episode.
Yeah. And although...
Very exciting.
I get some things pretty wrong.
Okay.
I get other things very right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we land in the middle.
Yeah.
On some other things.
Yeah.
A lot of discoveries.
You know what? Most of the interesting stuff happens in the second chapter. The first one, I mean, it's okay. It's okay.
One very interesting, very right prediction happens in the first chapter.
Yeah, but like all the best stuff, we can save it. So we should get that part of the way first, and then we'll come back to...
The fact that you think I should have a bottle of whiskey here is already... a point against... Okay. Okay. Yeah, because if you're ready to be like, this is where it's decided...
I was ready like a book and a half ago for it, so like...
Oh, really?
I'm just waiting for you to, at some point,
I don't know.
Okay.
I can be pretty stubborn.
I know that.
I just want an ice cream cake. Can the ice cream cake say, you were wrong? Because as long as I get an ice cream cake, like, I don't care what it says.
You know what? I'll think about it.
Okay, start us off.
Yeah, okay, so in the tradition of Baal Domin and his ships, I have a new fun fact about Baal Domin's new ship.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's got a new boat.
Yeah.
Or had a new boat. He doesn't have it anymore, but he did.
I actually do have a comment about that, because I went, hey, where's the spray?
Yeah, the spray. So, if you recall... And this is kind of funny because Baal Domin's new ship was called... I gotta stop talking about it in the present tense because, like, it's gone now.
He clearly does not have it.
Yeah, for a portion of time, he had the Seahawk. So, originally, back in, like, The Great Hunt, I did a fun fact on the ship, the Spray.
Yeah, okay.
That was his original, like, river craft.
That's right.
And that was possibly based on the real ship called the Spray. And a man named Joshua Slocum in the 1900s was the first man to sail around the world solo, and he did it on the Spray.
Right, you already told us that.
Yeah, so what happened with Baal Domin's ship, we learned when we were like in Tanchico that his business was doing really well.
His smuggling business.
Yeah. So he had like perhaps traded in the Spray, bought new ships, and then we get the introduction.
Seafaring craft.
We get the introduction to this ship that he had, the Seahawk. So, now, while there have been a few actual ships in history named the Seahawk, including a smaller ship that was used in World War I, there was one person in history that I was drawn to, and his name is Sir Francis Drake. So I'm going to tell you about Sir Francis Drake. So originally he was an English explorer. He was born around the 1530s. He was a sea captain who was best known for his circumnavigation of the world in a single expedition from 1577 to 1580. And that was the first English circumnavigation, the second carried out in a single expedition, and the third circumnavigation overall. So that's going all the way around the world. And he's the guy who basically started the era of conflict with the Spanish on the western coast of the Americas in England. So, the big thing about Sir Francis Drake is his exploits made him basically a hero to the English, but it led to the Spanish branding him as a pirate, and he got a super cool nickname.
The Seahawk.
No.
Oh.
The Dragon.
Oh, the Dragon.
Which is kind of, Wheel of Time, kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Was his boat the Seahawk?
No. But you might be asking, how does this tie in with the Seahawk?
That would be my next question.
That's the question. So there's more. So in the 1940s, in 1940, there was a movie released featuring the actor Errol Flynn, who apparently at the time was very famous. And the story of the movie is based on the life and expeditions of Sir Francis Drake. And it was also meant to be deliberately pro-British propaganda to build up morale during World War II. So it was like a pretty prominent movie. And the movie was called The Seahawk.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Based on this pirate guy with the whole circumnavigation thing. The Dragon. Okay.
Well,
now.
You certainly stretched to get there.
No, but it's there.
Yeah,
okay,
it's there.
Because apparently Sir Francis Drake is actually a pretty huge figure in history. There's tons of stuff named after him. And he is the main person and focus of the Uncharted video game series, which was also made into a movie featuring Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland. So, he's a real person. He's kind of big. And the movie also, the Seahawks movie, was originally broadcast in color in 1986. So, kind of lands around the time when RJ was writing Wheel of Time and thinking about that kind of stuff. So, I have to assume it went into the list of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a lot of,
there's more. Okay.
Well, I was going to say there's a lot of contention in, the bird. What do you want to call it? People who like birds.
Yeah.
There's contention about Seahawks.
Yeah.
Because Seahawk may or may not technically be a bird because it's an osprey.
I think of the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, there's contention there too. So,
a bird is the logo.
But here's the thing: a Seahawk is technically an osprey or a squaw, which is also kind of contentious because a squaw would be one of 7 subcategories of birds. But apparently the Seattle Seahawks logo isn't actually an osprey even. It's a hawk.
Yeah.
So that's a big issue,
well,
apparently.
Yeah, it's a hawk, but it's in kind of seafoam green colors.
Yeah.
It's sea
But
colors.
Seahawks are ospreys and ospreys aren't hawks. So it's I don't want to get too into that.
My
but
goodness.
anyways,
Well, now we need to do a whole segment on logos and how accurate they are.
Perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Maybe next time.
Maybe. Probably not.
No. All right, so last time we were here talking, Matt was figuring out how to help some Aes Sedai and Damane,
Yes.
and Aes Sedai turned Damane,
Yep.
escape from Ebudar, while also planning his own escape.
Mm-hmm. Time to leave Ebudar.
Right, and he'd also met and had lots of run-ins with the Daughter of the Nine Moons,
Mm-hmm.
even though he doesn't know that's her title yet.
No, but she's beautiful.
Now, at first, he thought she was a little girl, so...
Also possibly a boy, I don't know.
Yeah, we're not really sure what's going on.
Now she's beautiful.
Now she is. Mm-hmm. Good. This reminds me of Perrin and Fail.
Yeah.
At first he was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
Okay.
All right. So the last time we saw Egianin was also last chapter-ish. Last episode-ish. Egianin was checking into the Wandering Woman Inn. And we were like, oh yeah, that chick.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a little recap on her.
Right. And now I do have a recap of where Rand was last time we saw him.
Okay.
But I'll save that
for when we get there. Yeah, we can focus on this Ebudar stuff.
Let's focus on it. So, chapter 1 is called A Matter of Property, and the chapter symbol is new.
It is, yeah.
It is a sword and an anchor.
Yeah, which one's the sword, which one's the anchor? Assuming one is Baal Daman and one is Egianin.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay.
I like to pair them up, because the Raven would be the dragon is somebody, and
Yeah, I see. I think that maybe the anchor and the sword would just be for a strong person who's also a boat person.
Cool, I like it. That works too.
Yeah, because they're both boat people.
They are both boat people. Bail Daman apparently not much of a fighter from what Egiana thinks. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so she's the sword. Okay, you just
if
answered,
anything,
you answered the question. Okay. Unless he's smuggling swords.
Yeah, not really from what we've
Not
ever
anymore,
seen.
but he could have.
Okay.
At one point.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're entering in an Aegianan perspective. And now, okay, you know how I'm bad at reading?
Sure.
So something happened in my brain, and
I
had to go back and be like, what? Because, okay, so Aegianan is lying on her bed in the room at the Wandering Woman, staring at her fingernails, and she's thinking about how dresses must be an invention of the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
And my brain heard
Great
Lord of the Dark.
Oh, no.
And
so you're like, Dark Friend.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, this whole time.
Huge reveal.
Oh, no.
Yeah, crazy.
Because I was like, that's so subtle. What an interesting way to tell us
Yeah.
about what's going on here.
Mm-hmm,
and then I couldn't remember if we'd ever actually been in her perspective before or not, really. But then, yes, we have. So, like, it was a mess.
Crazy,
It
yeah.
was a mess. And then...
Dresses are, in fact, they make you turn to the Dark One.
Yeah,
Or the Great Lord of the Dark.
Okay, so the Dark Lord is sort of a weird way to say it.
Yeah, but she's Shanshan.
But it's not the Great
Lord of the Dark. Yeah.
So I went, oh my! And then I went, oh, just kidding, I'm an idiot. Turns out I just don't understand.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, so not Dark Friend.
Did you read the whole chapter thinking that? Or
No.
Part of it?
No, because as soon as she said that, I was like, oh my gosh,
and then you went, okay.
Yeah, did I read that right? Oh my gosh. And then, yeah.
No, you did not read that right.
No. And then, even though I went and reread it, and I was like, oh yeah, that is what it says. Whoa! It took me a while.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
So, anyway, she's half listening to Bail Daman, who is in the middle of a rant, and she's listened to the same thing so many times before. He's like, my Seahawk was faster than any Shanshan ship ever made. And he's telling his story about all sorts of stuff and about how basically he could have gotten away.
Yeah.
And
Which
she's
we know that no,
you couldn't have gotten away.
And like we know that he can't, and he got captured apparently multiple times now. It's like you can't. That's not an option.
Yeah. No, especially when the people who are capturing you are
magic
skilled channelers. Who just like smash you apart.
They'll blow your ship up. So.
Exactly. Now, Aegianan is also running through her head about all her childhood aspirations and her family stuff, and we just kind of get some background on her as a character. Yeah,
the biggest thing to pull out of that would seem like her mother was actually pretty high up. So her mother rose to a captain of the gold, which seems higher than a captain of the green.
Right.
And it also seems like her mother was named Hand of the Empress at Sea, and then you stand at the left hand of the Crystal Throne, which is the Empress.
Sounds like a big deal.
Sounds like her mom was pretty high up there. So, I mean, that's something to take note of, I suppose.
Well, yeah, and also the fact that Aegianan herself is raised to Captain of the Green way younger than normal. So she's already doing
and
good.
A lot of people coming over to reconquer Randland kind of had that as an idea, like with new lands come new titles, so you take a risk by going, but then there's also lots of rewards and new names, which she got the new last name, Tamarath. So that's like a big... So, we've kind of heard that like names are very important to the Shanshan. That's come up a couple of times. I mean, even just think about how they use Damani and they rename them, right? So there's a whole... there's a lot of stuff about names. So she earned like a new name to add on to her name.
Okay.
It's a better name.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Now, Aegianan is basically just trying to figure out how she's in the situation that she's in right now.
Yeah.
Because Suroth had accepted their story of what they were up to in Tanchico, but it doesn't really make sense why her orders have landed her here in Abu Dar, and then she realizes that she's in a dangerous situation because people might be suspicious of her, plus that Seeker might be waiting for her to make a mistake.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of like kind of catching us up to speed on what they're up to, like Aegianan and Daman, and what they've been doing since Tanchico, since they left with the bracelets, to drop them in the ocean, which is going to come up in conversation pretty soon. But anyways, they kind of found themselves here, and it's not necessarily great.
That's true.
Okay. We'll come back to that.
Yeah, okay. So now, Aegianan tunes back into Daman's rant and thinks about how He doesn't act the way a Sojin should, and he takes it all as some kind of joke.
Yeah.
She even had him beaten once, which
Didn't
made him
go
really
well.
mad for
Yeah.
some reason.
Well, and it's funny
Super
because
weird.
as we go at the end of this chapter, like, they're clearly in a relationship.
Oh, yes.
Like, very much so.
Like,
Proposal's coming in, like, 3, 2, 1.
yeah.
But you can't...
Unfianced.
Yeah. I'm not going to marry you if you own me and you beat me.
No, you have me beaten.
Yeah, have you beat... You don't even do it yourself.
That's right.
Come on.
And then he even made her apologize
Crazy.
before he would sleep in the same bed with her again.
Different cultures.
Right.
Crazy times.
And now, it's also not completely unheard of to sleep with your Sojin.
Yeah, so, like, that's not bad that they're in a relationship necessarily.
Yeah.
It's not inherently bad, and they're not going to, like, get in trouble.
It's not as bad as, like, sleeping with your demonic.
Exactly, yeah, that would be worse.
We got that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, like, fine, because they're property.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Are we just assuming that
Well,
that's gonna...
I don't think that matters as much, because, again, they're property, so, like...
Rude.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyway, Egyanin has told him all the points as to why he's super wrong and wouldn't have gotten away lots of times before, and she repeats herself and says it all again.
Yeah, they're going to blow you up, and, specifically, they were looking for Baal Doman and the Seahawk. That's a really big piece of important information that we need to pick up here.
Oh.
So the first question they asked when they boarded them was like,
because
hey, are you the Seahawk? Are you
Yeah.
the ship we're looking for?
Well, and that's because the Seeker guy has his name, and maybe is connecting it to Turak's death and stuff, so...
It's possible. It could be the Seeker thing. It could also be the bracelets thing. Because that's also like a really key piece of information here.
Right. Okay. And then that's when Daman says, I still say we could have dropped it over the side. The Seeker had no proof I had it on board. And then Egyanin says, you already admitted there's no harm in Suroth having the collar and bracelets. They can't be put on him unless someone gets close enough, and nothing suggests that anyone will.
Yeah, so... Oh, no! Okay. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Here we go.
That's what I said.
You've been
As soon
worried
as
about
they,
this.
Like, the minute they handed it off, I was like, whoop, shouldn't have done that. There's no way that thing's getting in the ocean.
Yeah. And it's like, you just, like, throw it over the side, and Daman kind of brings it up, like, just whip it overboard.
You were pretty adamant. You're like, what? Yeah, he could have just done that. Why?
Yeah, he could have.
Well, if I didn't see it.
It didn't happen. So...
And it really felt like it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
It really felt that way,
Mm-hmm.
and this is my biggest gold star of the night.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I'll give it to you.
This is like years
Yes.
of speculation.
Yep.
This was like at least 2 years ago,
Yeah.
something like that I said this.
Oh, yes.
So now...
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time coming, and I'm so happy that something super obscure that I've predicted has actually... come back,
and you're right.
I've remembered the prediction.
Love it.
And I'm right.
It's a really important thing.
It is very important.
Okay.
Because this is a huge fucking problem.
So why? Just let's test your... Why is this such a big problem?
Well, Sural's a dark friend.
Okay, yeah.
Like a dark friend.
Yeah, very much a dark friend, yes. Very much so.
Very much.
Definitely talking with some of the Chosen.
And Black Aja, perhaps.
Black Aja, they were dealing with the Andrin,
yep.
like, originally, which they had
many,
orders from the Dark One and stuff, so... Okay, why else is it bad? What do these bracelets do?
They control Rand.
Yeah, so there's 2 bracelets, 1 collar, specifically for a man, and this was what the girls were going to go and find in Tachiko, because it's like, big problem.
Weapon that could
Super
really
weapon.
harm Rand.
Yes, super weapon that can really do some not good things.
And Egyanin thinks, it might be necessary to be fitted with this male Adam to kneel to the Crystal Throne, and that has to happen because of the prophecies. And Baal Doman's like, I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, this is kind of like huge, number one, because they were not thrown overboard. Now they've been returned, and they're in the hands of Suroth, which probably means they can get into the hands of like a Forsaken really easily.
Oh, for sure.
Very easily.
Yeah.
But my question, because they do bring up an interesting point about the Crystal Throne, and the whole Rand needs to kneel to the Crystal Throne. Do you think that the bracelets have something to do with kneeling? Because it kind of paints a picture like, hey, maybe this is what has to happen.
No.
Oh, okay. Just like, you're just disregarding what she says?
I think that all super regular people who aren't evil and on the dark side believe that this is what needs to happen. And so they wouldn't think anything nefarious about this,
Okay.
But know
Yeah.
better.
Do
I
you-
know more
yeah.
than they know. So,
Sure. Again, because
know
we
what
talked
I'm
about this
saying?
before. I don't remember where you stand. Is Rand gonna kneel to the Empress? Is that happen? That's in their
no,
prophecy.
I think he's gonna chop her head off.
Nice.
and
then
Rand's
kneel.
not kneeling
Okay.
to anybody.
I'm just asking, but like, hypothetically,
I mean,
anyways. Okay. No,
Unless
that's
he's
fine.
like
That's fine.
shoved in another box or something. Like
You think there's gonna be another box that Rand goes into?
no, but he might be with this stupid male at
Yeah.
and it might,
Okay.
I could see it, but like nah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
I am
it's
very concerned, and I have been
Okay.
about this.
Well,
thing.
now it's back on our radar. It's been brought back into the plot line here.
Yeah.
So it's something that maybe we should keep an eye out
See
for.
you again in 4 books.
Maybe.
Okay, so their conversation turns to what can we do in this city? And Dom's like, I don't know, lots of festivals.
But you might not like those,
Right.
considering you didn't like Matt making out with what's her
Oh,
face.
Right. So Damen super casually is like, well, we could find a wise woman and we could get married.
That's an option. The wise woman thing might be hard to find
Right.
because that was like the kin.
Yeah.
The wise women were the kin.
Oh, that's true.
Like, I don't know if every wise woman ever was one of the kin,
and there's always
hypothetically.
going to be some random lady with herbs and stuff who calls herself a wise woman,
Yeah,
probably.
it's just like a lot of
But
that
yeah,
market has
okay,
been
that's
kind of
fair.
wiped out.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think
you know.
about that. Mostly I was thinking about how he's like, well, I am your property and we can't really get married, so you'll have to free me so we
Right.
can get married. And she was like, no,
But they can't.
can't.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Well, and there's a reason to it. So basically, if you
The
free,
rules say.
yeah, you can take them as property, but then if you
Not
want
just take
to,
them, you buy them, right?
you buy them. Yeah, you buy them, and apparently, Bell Diamond, hot commodity.
Hot commodity.
A lot of people like the cut of his jib, which is a boat reference too. So
Ooh,
like
good one.
bonus points for me for that.
That was great.
Thank you. I even looked it up to know that it was in
Oh,
fact.
you had to look it up to make the joke?
I knew the saying, but I was like, I think a jib is something on a boat, but I
Yeah.
didn't know for sure, and it is, and that's where the saying comes from.
Uh-huh.
So, anyways,
Yeah. A sailboat, I think.
Side note:
Yep.
the whole thing about Sojin is like if you buy them, and then if you want to release them, then you're basically responsible for their well-being. So she would have to make sure he can support himself in his freedom.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she can't let him return to his smuggling operation because that's like super immoral.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
No, it's not. Well, also
smuggling
to the
is
Shanshan, but yeah.
immoral and not honorable.
But like to the Shanshan,
Yeah.
literally, yeah.
I
That's
know
the
that's what
thing.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a little bit hypocritical.
So- Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, so they're like, all right, whatever. They hug it out. Aegyanin thinks she does want to marry him, and she decided that before they even left Tenchiko, and then that's when she had to pay a lot of money for
Yeah.
him. Okay, but let's skip to the good part.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's gonna bust in and spill all the seeker beans.
You know, it's funny how this turns out too.
I'm on board with it. I was like, this is the only thing that makes any sense for little old Bethy.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things like we could have gotten that taste of it last time and then not heard about it forever, if ever.
That's true. That's not really what Robert Jordan wants here.
Yeah.
This is a very Shanshan focused book.
It is okay, yeah.
And so we're getting a lot of plot line, probably because it's going to matter, and this isn't some throwaway stuff
Okay.
for now.
So you're really reading hard now.
I mean,
Besides the beginning part where it's like, what? But
I'm reading
now.
a regular amount.
Okay.
Okay, there's a knock, and then in comes Bethamin. Aegyanin thinks about the last time she saw her, which was in the basement in Tenchiko, and we talked about that all last time.
Yep.
Because she took her collar off, let her go, and then Damen is staying in the room for this conversation.
Yeah. We have to assume he's mostly up to speed on everything. It seems like they share things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now Bethamin is super nervous and she wastes no time immediately spilling all the beans.
Yeah, she does.
She says exactly what's going on, tells Aegyanin everything about the Seeker coming to her, ordering her to be friends with her, and then spy on her for him.
Yeah, and Aegyanin knows, like, Bethamin really can't tell on her for anything because she's screwing herself if she
Yes,
does.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, she also knows that this must be the same Seeker who visited her in Tenchiko, and she also thinks about her orders and how they make a lot more sense now.
Yeah, like, why am I in Abu Dar? Well, it's all kind of tied together here.
Right. So then Egyanin tells Bethamin to have a seat. They can discuss the situation, and Daman pours some brandy. We all need a good drink right now.
Yes.
So Egyanin starts by telling Bethamin that they're not totally screwed right now, because the only real crime she committed was freeing Bethamin from the Idam, and she's not a Suldam in charge of capturing uncollared Damane, so...
I mean, this is the confirmation that we talked about everything last chapter. Like, the Seeker has a lot of the right, like, facts of, like, what happened, but how he put them together is the wrong part. So...
Right. And then Egyanin tells Bethy to remember that if he does decide to arrest her, she will not even hesitate. He doesn't even have to torture her before she's spilling her name.
Gonna give you up immediately.
Immediately. So if you're thinking of even remotely... But obviously she's not. She came here and told you everything.
Yeah. But Egyanin thinks that too, and she's like, well, it doesn't hurt to, like,
she's
just remind
guard.
her.
She's like, okay, well, like, is there a play?
Yeah.
Is there a plan?
Yeah.
To get something else out of me now by telling me this, right?
Now, it is funny, because this is the part where Egyanin thinks, like, Daman couldn't have killed Turak, and she always, like, was wondering and hoping, but he's not nearly skilled enough to actually do that.
Yeah.
Turak was a blade master.
Yes.
So.
Yes, that's true.
Only our little old Rand could work his way through that one.
That's true.
It's just a lot of coincidences that are happening here with the story.
It sounds that way. Yeah. And then Bethamin goes into the rest of the story and tells Egyanin and Domin the entire murder board conspiracy plot that the Seeker laid out.
Everything gets spilled here.
And then Bethamin is just rambling and says, and if he learns about Rena and Seta, he'll for sure know. And then he'll come after me and the other Suldam. And if he takes me, I'll give him your name.
Turntables on you.
How turntables.
But yeah, she spilled more even than she necessarily needed to. And Egyanin is like,
who's that? Who are Rena and Seta? But then she pretty much immediately figures out that they're other Suldam.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
got collared.
If it happened to one, it happened to multiple.
That's
so it's like, you're all in the same boat here.
That's right. And so Bethamin tells her that they're in Suroth's service now, but they're not allowed to have any Damane.
Yes, yeah.
And then Egyanin thinks, okay, so there is a conspiracy here somewhere
it's just
with like, Suroth knowing about the Suldam thing, but clearly protecting the entire empire.
Well, it's kind of funny because both sides of this conversation that we've seen now, both of them think that Suroth might be hiding this information to protect the empire. And she might be, but there is a conspiracy, but it's not the one that they think of. The conspiracy is more so like Suroth is a dark friend and doing dark friend stuff, and maybe this ties in too.
Okay, so for sure, there's
levels of the conspiracy.
That's true.
How deep do you want to go?
So for sure, there's that.
Yeah.
But also, yes, protecting the empire, but more Suroth having knowledge that she knows that she can like use
leverage to work away. I mean, she's pretty.
That's her thing, right?
She wants to gain power. I mean, you don't become a dark friend without being ambitious. Right.
If you don't want some kind of power, and or glory.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
Or immortality.
That too.
That doesn't really go well for many people. We've seen a lot of people who are
but they're so optimistic.
I know.
That is one thing I cannot fault them for.
Just positive mental attitude. I love it.
So full of themselves.
I am gonna live
They
forever.
really think that it's them, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like out of everybody here, it's you? Really? Okay, sure. And what's actually interesting here that I noted is that Egyanin no longer believes that any woman who can channel should be collared.
Yes. Well, I mean, it was literally like Nynaeve and Egwene and stuff who gave her the bracelets to dump in the ocean. Like, they were the ones who handed this off to them.
Yeah, it was bad. So I shouldn't have done that.
Full circle.
You really shouldn't have done that.
It all comes around. Yep.
Okay. Now, Bethamin is like, hey, listen, if that Seeker suffers an accident, the problem will go away.
Not a bad idea.
And it's like, no.
Well, maybe.
I don't agree.
Okay.
I think that it would look even more suspicious.
You gotta kill him and then destroy his murder board, so anyone who's like has to start from scratch.
Right, but like who else has he shared that information with? Because you will immediately be implicated.
See, you're thinking too far ahead, and sometimes you just have to act in the moment. and then kill him.
Impulsive. That's what I've said. That's what I've been saying this
I've
whole
always
time.
wanted you to be more impulsive.
Me.
Yeah.
You
that's-
love how
I know.
you love that about me. That's my.
I want
that's your
more
favorite.
more
That's your
unknown
favorite
things.
trait of mine.
Your best quality.
My impulsivity.
Yeah. That and attention to detail.
And my stubborn nature. And resting glasses on the very edge of tables because
and then always being surprised when they inevitably fall off. Anyways, enough about us.
Yeah. Well, no, that was just me. That was just a lot of terrible things that you don't like about me. So thanks for that.
It's like it's a pretty comprehensive
Merry
list.
Christmas.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the last time I make you Christmas cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
In case people don't know, we're recording on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah, it is
That's
Christmas
what's
Eve.
happening
Okay.
right now. We've had a couple drinks today. Okay.
All right. So
Yeah.
again, it's not
What's
necessarily
happening?
okay. She's not against murdering the Seeker, but she's like, okay, let me think on it. Let me figure this out. Don't do anything.
Mhm.
Murdering him's not a terrible option. Like, it's on the table, and apparently Bail Daman also thinks that it might be on the table.
Oh, for sure.
Because he's like, well, because basically they booed Bethaman out.
They're like, okay, thanks for the information.
see you later. Also,
Oh, you're gonna be my friend.
yeah, we're going to do
You're
that
gonna come see me every
Yep.
day.
every free day that you have.
Right.
Not every day.
No.
Not like it's like friends.
Friends.
Yeah, not
Got
best
it.
friends.
Okay, so they'll restart their relationship,
Yeah.
and the Seeker is gonna want that to happen.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna
keep up appearances.
Yeah, and we'll feed him information that we want him to have.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
okay.
So now, then they kick her out.
Yeah.
And Egyanin throws her cup towards the fireplace, but misses. And I'm
Oh.
wondering if that's a Shan-Chen thing, because that's twice in a row now. We're seeing Shan-Chen throwing their cups towards
In
fireplaces.
and or towards the fireplace.
And then she's like, oh, it's dented.
Ah, shoot. And her dad gave
We
it
got
to
a
her or
whole
something.
There's so much extra backstory that we never talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot.
so
You know,
many
if it was
details.
super important, I mean, I don't know that the cup that her dad gave her is going to come back ever.
Well, it was a gift
You know.
for being high ranking.
You know,
so
as a
early.
critical plot point to the Wheel of Time universe. Good for backstory. Is it necessary to
Nope.
know?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Okay, so she's thinking about this crazy conspiracy plot that the Seeker has got her roped into, and Damon's like, I could probably kill him. He's super skinny and expects everyone to obey him, and he
Yeah.
won't expect that.
Go
I'm
up
just
there
gonna
and-
snap his neck.
Just go
I
up
was
there
like,
with your
whoa,
big hands and break his
whoa,
neck. Easy.
Bale,
Yeah.
chill.
Turn his head to the other way sharply,
I
and
was
then,
thinking like poison in the wine or something. He
Oh.
clearly drinks brandy.
Right.
That's better than snapping someone's neck.
Is it, though?
No.
Okay.
Yes, I mean yes. Yes. it is.
Anyways, that plan is off the table
Okay.
because the Seeker can maybe hide or blend in or what. He wears disguises. He disguises himself.
Okay.
So,
Well, immediately, Egyanin's like, no, the Seeker's good at hiding and blending in. And then she's like, listen, bud, I'm going to write these papers to free you, and I'll give you enough money to get you out of Abu Dar so you're not implicated
yeah.
with me, like, goodbye.
Yeah.
And he just takes the paper that she's writing on away from her,
Yeah.
which is very unsojin-like.
Oh, it is. He doesn't do anything properly on this. Yeah.
No.
No. But fiancé-like, I would say.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
no.
You can't just, like, send me away.
Yeah, that's not going to happen here.
But, you know what he does have a plan for? He's gonna find a crew, because he's a pirate captain.
Yeah. And she's like, you don't even have a ship. And he's like, it doesn't matter.
Crew first.
Crew first.
Ship later.
Let me tell you about this guy I recognized
From
just a
another
little
ship.
while ago.
Yeah.
And he's pretty good at stuff. I
He's good
saw
at
him
stuff.
running away from Trollocs
Yeah.
and Radral first time I met
So
him.
he did recognize Matt.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, you
Points for me.
did. You did. It doesn't seem like he recognized the Aes Sedai
No.
because he may have mentioned it. I don't know. He might not have mentioned it, but like maybe
I
not.
think that part matters less.
It matters less, but he does know that Matt has come up in the world because the first time that he saw him, he was like farmer, but
And
now
he-
fancy boy.
Fancy boy.
Yeah.
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 And what's interesting is Egyanin says,
Oh, you picked up on this.
one day I'll have to see these Trollocs and Fades you speak of.
Yeah, she doesn't think they're like as bad as
No.
he talks about. So here's the thing: are there not Chunchin or
Trollocs
like
and
Trollocs in Chunchin?
Okay,
Yeah,
This brings us back to the whole point about we're not trying to rule the whole world,
yeah,
just a continent.
yeah.
Like you're the dark one of the world.
You start in the West because that's where all the best things are.
Now, okay. Let's see.
Being facetious.
No, I know.
It's not a
No,
real
I
answer.
actually didn't
Okay.
even hear what you said because
Okay.
I was doing my own thinking.
Okay.
So we were introduced
Yeah.
to all the Trollocs, but there were like Trolloc wars,
Uh-huh.
like way
So-
before Rand was born.
Keep in mind. Keep in mind where the boar is.
Here,
The boar is in Randland.
okay,
It's not over the ocean in Shanshan. I don't know how well the Trollocs would do on a boat for an extended period of time either.
yeah, but
We don't necessarily know if there were Trollocs in Shanshan originally.
I guess, and then we don't have like a blight
we don't
over
have a,
there.
we don't have a ton of information. We don't know yet. We don't really know too much.
It feels weird,
But it seems like she doesn't really. She kind of has the Illianer vibe of like, those are fairy tales, like almost to that level.
Yeah.
Because even in Randland, they're so far removed.
Well, and the Forsaken have just been released.
Yeah.
So we don't even have like traveling until like this year.
And we've never even seen any Shadowspawn go through a gateway before.
No.
They use the ways.
They use the ways.
We've never seen them go through a gateway.
And I guess Shanshan doesn't have the ways.
We don't know. Like, maybe.
We don't know what
They have Ogier.
They have Ogier.
Yeah.
But in a much different way.
They're different. They're
They're
different.
different.
Less on the tree-loving, book-reading, maybe ways-creating type of people.
Yeah, less.
I mean, they didn't create them, but that,
less
you know,
on
you get what I'm
that.
saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, Daman also mentions that Matt has some other companions. One in particular who might be good in this situation, Tom Marilyn.
Yeah, here we go.
And Aegyanen's like, whoa.
I know that guy.
Is there a conspiracy here? Because, like, I know that guy.
Yeah, he's dangerous.
He's dangerous. She's
He is
familiar with
dangerous.
Tom
Yeah.
because
Tom and Julian went with
He-
them to Tenchiko.
was with Elaine and Nynaeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Tom and Julian.
Yeah. And Damon's like, no, there's no conspiracy here. But even if there were, he wouldn't let the Seeker or anyone else harm her.
Cool. Very
and that
sweet.
is Sojin-like, but
That-
not for
yeah.
the reasons that he says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is he's right about Tom being here with Matt.
Yes.
It's been years.
Mm-hmm.
At least one. I actually don't know what the timeline is right now. At least two, probably, right? Since...
We've like just crossed the 2-year mark from the beginning of the series.
Okay, so that makes sense then. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's been a couple years, and people are dispersed all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt and Tom are actually together right now.
Julian's here too.
And Julian's here too. Nobody says that right now. Nobody knows Julian, but... Well, Aegyanen does, but...
Yeah.
Okay, this is all very interesting. Aegyanen agrees. She's like, okay, fine. Find Matt and Tom. Maybe we can make something work.
Yeah.
And we need to see what we can do before we make a decision.
We have the best crew ever coming up. So now we have Matt.
Yeah.
He's going to save Jolene,
Yeah.
Teslin,
Mm-hmm.
the other one.
The
3rd
Mhm.
woman.
Other,
Yeah.
yes.
And then we've got Tom. We've got Julian.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because Matt's on his way to talk to Tom and Julian, and now Bael Daman and Aegyanen are going to
And
possibly
we have
meet up.
Bethamin,
Yeah.
who can channel and be
Bethamin
a
can
Sul'dam.
come in here too.
Bethamin can help them escape. Okay.
Best
okay.
crew ever.
Actually, this is probably...
We need like a
Too good to
like
be
an
true.
album release cover. Everybody,
yeah,
doing
okay.
the thing.
I do feel positively about this. I did, actually, when I read it.
Okay.
But it's almost like too good to be true, you know?
Yeah.
For it to actually work.
Well, because we have 2 on too. She's got to. Is she gonna fit into the crew?
I know. Well, what if we just met her, they met each other, and then he leaves, and now it's like another
You did
3
mention that.
books.
You mentioned that is
Yeah.
that's a likely thing that
Because
could
I
happen.
really do want him
Mm-hmm.
to get away
Sure,
and rescue these people.
I agree.
And I want Aegyanen and Bethamin. I'm kind of on their side. I like them as far as Shanshan go.
Yeah,
And I've always liked Bael Daman. I got nothing against that guy.
yeah.
Except for that he didn't do what he was supposed to frickin' do.
Well, they didn't show up. Are you talking about like he was supposed to wait with the boat?
No, he was supposed to drop the...
Drop the bracelets.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was bad. Loses points on that one
definitely.
because those are back in play
But
now.
let's say Matt, Tom, Julian get to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Aegyanen, who is sympathetic to channelers,
Yeah.
would probably sort of be okay with rescuing some Aes Sedai Damane.
I think that's true.
Would Bethamin, though? Maybe if it gets her out of the situation. She's pretty self-preservating.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Self-preserving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Preservating. I like that actually a little
Preservation
better.
skills.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. It's a good crew. If it all comes together.
It won't, though. You know why? The issue is Matt won't disclose that he's trying to save these people.
We don't share information in this book.
No.
We don't tell people things.
Because if he knows that Damen is with Yanin, and he does, he saw them together.
Yeah.
He is not telling a single Shanshan about this at all.
Fair.
Even if they would even potentially be sympathetic, he doesn't know.
Yeah. We should get Beslin too. Beslin could help.
Yeah.
But he's already causing trouble a little bit. He's already got plans.
I'm still a little curious about what the plans are. Tom and Beslin and Julin plans.
What are we doing? What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
Also, Julin's lady friend, who's in love.
That doesn't exist.
Fine,
I've already told you.
We're trying to add to the list here.
I know.
Okay.
That's the end of this chapter.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break.
Sounds good.
And we'll get into your favorite of the book.
The best chapter ever.
Okay, we got some things to talk about. And then we have some things to talk about.
Right.
Okay, we're back.
Yes.
Chapter 22, Out of Thin Air.
Mm-hmm.
We get a chapter symbol. It's the Forsnaken.
It is, and...
No, listen, okay, before.
Oh, okay,
Hold on. Let me tell you where we were last time with Rand.
Okay.
And then we can jump into the stuff you want to talk about. So, Rand was leaving the Caemlyn Palace.
Yeah.
The last time we saw him. After recruiting Nynaeve for his secret mission to kill people and then do something thought to be impossible.
Yeah.
Also, he did bond with 3 new women.
He did.
And there's room for everyone in Rand's head.
Yeah. And then, Nynaeve went missing.
Yeah.
A bunch of Terangriel and Angriel went missing.
That's right.
And then Olivia went missing.
That's true, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the thing I got wrong. But
okay.
Rand has been jumping all over the place, leaving trails and false trails, trying to stay hidden.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where
Which we can also talk. We can talk about all this stuff. It's all great.
Okay. So another confession.
Okay.
For me. Now, the first time I read this chapter, I listened to it.
Okay.
That was my first time. I couldn't wait. I was really excited. I wanted to see what happened next.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to wait, so I was driving to work and I listened to the chapter.
Okay.
Now, there's no maps.
No.
At all in audiobook, so I didn't get a map. And when I hear they're in Far Madding,
you're like,
I have to make up in my head where I think that is.
Oh no! Oh my goodness.
So you see where I'm going with this.
I see a little bit. Where did you put it? Where'd you put it?
Where do you think? If you hear Far Madding and you don't know where that is, what does it kind of sound like?
Nope. I don't know.
Okay, so it kind of sounds like Faldara.
Okay. Borderlands.
But I know Faldara, but I couldn't remember the one that kind of sounds like Faldara that's the capital in Shinar.
Okay.
Falmoran or something, right? Falmoran?
Yeah.
So that's where I thought we were.
Okay.
I thought it doesn't really matter.
What?
The setting of this matters so little.
That's better than what I maybe thought you might say.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did you...
I don't know. I thought you were going to be like, it's somewhere in Shanshan or the new place complete. Like, I don't know.
No. I logically tried to be like, I've heard of this place before.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like, it's been on the map since the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like, Far Madding and anybody who ever scoured the maps when these books were coming out. But, like, Far Madding is not somewhere we ever really got mention of or history of. Like, nothing until it's like, we're here, we're doing it.
Yes.
Let's go.
And now, I did read this chapter more times than I usually do.
Okay.
One perspective in particular.
Okay.
Because I really had to suss out what was going on.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you don't know, then we'll get to it.
Okay,
and I'll talk about
it could be one of...
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. It's the only thing that matters in this chapter.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
However, so I went to the book after I listened to it twice.
And you're like, hey.
On audiobook. And then I went, oh, a map.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also, I think...
and then I looked at the map.
Yeah.
And I was like, Tyr?
In the chapter...
And I didn't even know.
In the chapter, they talk about how it's like a trading center between Caemlyn, Ilion, and Tyr.
Yeah. I didn't listen to that.
Okay. They talk about it. It's like, that's...
Yeah, I didn't listen to that.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. You know, I get that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's all.
Yeah.
So, the first couple read-throughs, I didn't know where we actually were.
Fair. Okay.
But it didn't really matter.
Yeah, so there we go. So we got a new map.
We got a new map.
Far Madding.
Far Madding.
Yep.
Interesting.
It is. It's cool.
It's a cool little map.
Nothing like, crazy on it. Nothing.
I don't know what we're expecting to be crazy on a little map.
Well, I don't know. It's like sometimes there's like, oh, there's,
Nope.
you know.
What was crazy is that it was way more south than I thought it was.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Okay.
Okay, so we're in a Rand perspective. Rand is walking through one of the 3 markets that's open to foreigners, which is actually listed on
It is.
the
You
map.
get the 3 strangers markets.
Markets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very welcoming city from what it sounds like.
No, not.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't want
Opposite of that,
strangers
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Or men, really.
Yeah. And we,
Not fans.
no one. Just like nobody should be here.
Yeah.
Don't come here.
Yeah.
At all.
And if you have to, stay where you're supposed
Where
to
you're
stay.
supposed to stay.
In these markets
Don't
for
go
you.
where you're
That's
not
it.
supposed to go.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, what's interesting is we do get a bit of a description of this place since it's a new city for us, but I really didn't pay very much attention to that.
Yeah, I mean, there's new lore, new descriptions. The important or the interesting thing here is, like, right at the beginning, we get that it's the trade between Illiantir Camelin. So, like,
yeah.
if you located that, whatever it's called,
Sure.
it's, like, right there.
Yeah.
But we get this big statue.
In the Amarha market.
Yeah, which is named after Amhara. But the important part is, like, yeah, she was important, but nobody outside of Far Madding really cares. What's more important is that there's 2 notable men who were born here.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Raoulin Darksbane,
Yeah,
Urian Stonebow,
that's right.
who are
Some guys.
false dragons.
False dragon.
So way back in, like, Eye of the World, when Baalzamon's taunting Rand, those are, like, 2 of the false dragons
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that are, like, prominent. Guerra
Okay,
Malsan,
They're born here.
and then Logain, right? Remember that
Right.
whole thing?
Not really.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, that's okay. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's partially, and Rand thinks that's partially why he's actually here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we also learned that Rand is super undercover. He
Sort of.
even dyed his hair with Nynaeve's non-magical herbs to dye his hair black.
Uh-huh.
And I have another...
And it worked so well.
So good.
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
What? What is he dyeing his hair with? What herbs
Yeah.
dye red hair black?
The black herbs.
And I mean, we talked about this.
Pepper.
When
I don't know. What else?
Nynaeve and Elaine both...
Yeah. It was a huge
Or
scandal.
when Elaine dyed her hair black.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. But what really was the most troubling is, like, yeah, you can take lighter hair and go darker
Sure.
without issue.
But then it was the
problem is,
Nynaeve
It was the
thing.
Nynaeve
Yeah.
now just has light auburn hair from her dark black hair. Yeah, how?
They're really good herbs.
Real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we speculated on henna on
okay.
that one.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really funny this chapter because Rand's entire thought process is like how in disguise and awesome he is.
Yeah.
And then it's like clearly that you
Not good.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Like very much
no.
not so.
I picture Creed from The Office.
Oh yeah. It's laser jet ink.
It's ink from the,
Just
it's the
like
toner ink
Toner ink.
from
yeah.
the printer
Yeah,
cartridge.
that's exactly what it is.
That's what this would look like, I
Yeah.
think.
There's a couple things that are going on here too with Rand when
I
he's
would
like
like
walking
it
around.
better. I'm sorry, I'm
You're still on the
interrupting.
hair thing.
I would like it
That's
better
okay.
if it was like Nynaeve channeled my hair black somehow.
Okay.
Right? I'd like that better.
Why doesn't Rand just channel his own hair? He can disguise himself.
Yeah,
He
but
literally,
maybe-
can disguise himself.
Oh yeah, he should do that.
He has he was the ugliest man ever. So
In the
ugly.
world. Yeah.
So ugly, in fact.
Yeah, he should just do that. Why are we physically dyeing your hair with herbs?
You know, Danny, that's a great question. And let's think on that. There's a lot of things that Rand could do,
But that would
Channeling.
be channeling, but then other men around could feel it, right?
perhaps. But
Yeah.
you can also tie off weaves and leave them and they can't be felt. So, like, that's a thing that can happen.
And like walk around and be disguised
Walk
in that
around,
way?
be disguised. That's the thing.
I don't know.
Well, let's start thinking about it. I'm going to start pointing things out to you. I'm going to point out, like, probably 72-ish things,
72.
roughly. One of them is Rand thinks a cloak might get in his way if he finds his chance to act.
Yeah.
No cloaks.
No cloak.
Yeah. Well, because he's clearly on a mission to, like, try and
Yes.
murder this guy.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
There's a No Capes reference.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's great.
Incredibles.
No, I like that.
It's great.
It's good.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Now let's go.
Okay, because we learn that Rand is following none other than Rochade
Rochade. Yes.
through the streets.
The traitor Ashaman.
Yes.
If anyone
and it's
forgot.
good that it started with Rochade and not Kinsman, because I do not...
Kisman.
I...
Kisman.
Kinsman?
Kisman.
Kisman?
Yeah.
It's good that it started with
Because you'd be
Rochade.
like, who's this guy?
I don't know Kinsman.
He was on the traitors list too. Come on.
Kisman?
Yes.
I don't know that name.
You do know that name. He was on the traitors list.
I don't know
He
that
was
name.
one of the bros.
But he
we're
wasn't
here to-
around lots, was he?
Not a lot, but like
Okay.
we've heard his name.
Okay, No.
Okay.
I haven't.
It doesn't bode
didn't
well
know,
that
but
you didn't
Roachade-
recognize like Rail and Darksbane.
Okay.
And you're in
Listen.
Stoneball. Okay.
Roachade, though,
Yep.
recognize.
Yes.
I knew that, and I was like right away like, ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Great. So, we're on the prowl. We're following Roachade through the streets, staying a bit behind him.
Yep.
Being so
He's super good.
sneaky.
He's super good at tracking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even when he loses him for a little bit, whoa, he finds him again.
It's like, dude's like, fuck, you fucking lost me. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Throw the big red silk
Yeah, that's
cloak or whatever.
literally
it
what
is.
happened. Okay,
Yeah.
but we'll get there. So Rand is like, this idiot wearing a bright red coat,
Yeah.
standing out, drawing people's attention like crazy.
I can track him so easily.
Yeah, and then we get a note that Rand left his sword at the inn with Min.
Why would Rand leave a sword at the inn when he's on a murder mission? Okay.
Yeah. He clearly murders with his hands.
He does. I mean,
was he planning on channeling?
was he planning on channeling? That's a great question.
'Cause
I'm just
it
going to
felt
keep saying
that
that. I'm
way.
going to keep saying that.
It felt like he was planning on it.
But why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
Luce Theron, he's here.
He is.
And he is not happy.
He is freaking out. He's having a
Freaking
bad time.
The F out.
Bad
He's
time.
in Rand's head. He's like, you are the fool coming to this place. Like, he clearly knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Very aware
Very aware.
of what's happening
Doesn't
in the
like
surroundings.
being here.
Talking specifically to Rand.
Yep.
This
He's
is...
like, hey, idiot, what are
Yeah.
we doing here?
Yeah, we're kind of back to
Mhm.
buddies in a box.
A little bit. A little
right?
bit.
Where we're talking to each other. We know what's happening all around us.
Yeah.
So,
He's peeking through the...
separate entity.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Okay. You
That's
fit-
how it
yeah,
feels.
sure. Okay.
Now, he's like, you're a fool coming to this place. Madness, madness. We have to get out of here. We have to.
Yeah.
Roachade leaves the market area, heads into the city. The air above them has like birds that start smashing into each other and falling to the ground.
Yeah, it's like Tavir and stuff
Tavir and
happening.
stuff. That's what we think.
Yeah, the important part there is like Rand knows the Taviran effect is happening, and then Roachade must be aware of that, so he's probably aware that Rand's in the
In
city.
the city, but he thinks like, oh,
But he
didn't
doesn't know where I
was
am.
in the city, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what's crazy is the amount of people in Rand's head right now. So we got Rand, Luce
we've
Theron,
talked about this a jillion times. I know.
Mystery Man number 3,
Yeah.
Elaine, Avienda, Min, and Alana.
Yeah.
7 people.
Well, and also Matt and Perrin
Yeah.
are
Only
swirling.
when he thinks about them.
Yeah, but they're still there.
Yeah, so
And
7 to
swirling
9.
around. He almost saw Matt's face.
Yeah.
Like in the same way that he almost sees this guy's face.
7 to 9
So
times.
like
Yikes. All right.
that's really good for one's mental health, I've heard.
Surround yourself with people close to you when
Your
you're going
brain,
through a
surround your
crisis.
brain.
Yeah.
Just in your head though.
Okay.
Not physically.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So what's interesting is that Rand thinks about how he masterfully left all sorts of clues everywhere pointing to Farmatting. He wanted to draw them all there.
Yeah. This was the plan.
This was the plan. And it seems like that worked.
It does, and it's kind of weird because he left clues in the Borderlands, in the Aiel Waste, in the Southlands. Like, he left clues. And why did we land on Farmatting? Why is this the place to be?
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to when the girls got lured to Tyr,
Yeah.
when they found the pack of like all the garbage, and it's like, oh, we found 12 different clues,
Yes.
and they all say, hey, idiot, we're going to
in
Tyr. And then they're like, hey, we're going to Tyr, and it's a trap, but it's not a trap if we know it's a trap.
That's right.
And it turned out to be a trap anyways, and they got trapped.
They got trapped.
So it kind of like, that's a little bit of the vibe, because Rand thinks like, oh, I left a map out on the table, and I put some
tricked
books back in
them.
the wrong place.
Yeah.
It's like,
they think that's where I'm going to be, so
Yeah.
they're going to be looking for me here, but they don't know that I'm looking for them
Mhm.
while
the
they're
wolf
looking
dog
for me.
hound becomes the houndee.
That's absolutely
No one
right.
understands it.
Now, Roachade has come here ahead of the other traitor Asha men and Mans,
Yeah.
and Rand isn't quite sure why.
And sort of not true.
He knows that Torvel, Deshiva, Gedwin, and Kismin,
Kismin. Yeah.
will all come to finish what they started in Kyrian.
So this is interesting too, because Rand thinks that there's the 5 coming, and just as a recap that we do in this chapter, we get Kismin and Roachade
Are here early.
are here right now early. Deshiva is gone though.
Bounced or dead.
Gone or dead. So there's really actually only 4.
Mm-hmm.
Rand doesn't know that yet, but just for
Right.
us.
Okay.
Keeping track.
So Rand's plan is to kill Roachade before the rest of them arrive, so he can be on like this equal footing.
Yep.
And Luce Theron is still ranting about how being here is as bad as death.
And Rand agrees with him.
He's like, yeah, this is bad.
Why is it so bad to be in Farmatting?
I don't know.
I'm asking
Are you
questions.
going to tell me?
No.
Well, then can you stop asking?
Nope, I'm just going to keep pointing out the little phrases.
Whatever.
There's
Rand
1,000
keeps
clues.
following Rochade for a while through the different streets. I'm a little hyper-focused on one thing.
I know you, but you got to refocus on this first.
I don't give a shit.
You need to. It's important.
I don't need to do anything. One day you'll just tell me what I need to know.
Okay.
That's what happens around here. Okay, so Rand is following Rochade for a while. There's guards everywhere.
Yeah. You want another tidbit?
Ugh, fine.
Rand thinks that the Forsaken won't be fools enough to come after him here in Farmatting.
Oh, yeah?
They'll just send other people.
Okay.
Okay.
Why?
That's the question.
Do I know anything about this place
No,
previously?
we've never been here before. Like, we got no background.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay, fine. Whatever then.
Okay.
Now,
Part of the reason why this is my favorite chapter is we get a lot of questions and a lot of answers and a lot of action, a lot of intrigue.
lots of stuff.
Memorable parts of the book happen
for
here.
sure. Okay. This is probably better on a reread when you're like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Because
sure.
right now I'm like, I don't care.
No, I loved it in the first read too.
Yeah, but I don't care enough, you know?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, there's a sudden wave of dizziness that hits Rand, and he sees a murky face in his vision for a second,
Yeah.
and that causes him to stagger and like hit a person, and then Luce Theron says, "You destroyed them already. Now you have someone else to destroy. How many will we three
Yeah.
kill before the end, I wonder?"
Yeah, and this is concerning too because Rand gets the wave of dizziness again, and he's not even trying to like embrace Sidene or anything that. It's just like out of nowhere, it's happening.
Yeah. So Rand thinks about that comment because he's seen hundreds of Aiel here in the city who have run away after learning their history, and now I thought this was in the Borderlands, and this was a lot of the like dispersed Shido.
Yeah.
Maybe?
No,
it still
okay.
could be kind of maybe, but I thought it was like the ones from the Shido who like were in Kinslayer's dagger.
Sure.
And then like ran away north.
Okay.
But
So no.
that's not this.
No, these are the ones who literally just like dropped their weapons and left. Remember
They're
when?
trying to follow the way of the
Yeah,
light.
Ruark was telling Rand like, "Oh, more left today, more are leaving every single day,"
Yes,
just like dropping
yeah.
their spears and wandering off.
Why
so
are
it
they
seems like,
here?
I mean, that's a separate question.
Okay.
It's a place
Oh, it's
to
not.
go.
It's not part of the hints.
No, it's not part of my hints, but
Oh,
it is
feels
it's like a
something.
subplot
See,
here.
I'm not focused on the right things.
No, that's okay. That's
Okay.
okay. But it is kind of like a subplot. Like there are a lot of them here,
Okay.
but they don't come up again. So
Oh, so we can just forget about them forever? Cool.
I mean,
good,
in this
good.
chapter,
Let's move on
in this
then.
chapter, they don't. Oh no. Okay.
Okay. So now, unfortunately,
Hmm.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The wave of dizziness caused Rand to lose sight of Rochade, and he's like, no. Well, I'm not going to go blindly after him, so I guess I'll just go home.
Maybe.
Well, and at this point, Rand thinks about his odds on fighting the traitor Ash of Men, and he thinks that he can kill any two of them, maybe even all five, but he won't be able to do that quietly, and he would definitely take injuries against all five at once.
Yeah.
Plus, he doesn't want to have to abandon his sword because it was a gift from Avienda, so does that mean he's like, okay, if I have a fight now, but then I have to, like, flee the city,
Yeah.
I'm having to abandon my sword? But, like, Nynaeve, Lan, Min, like, they're all also back at the inn. Like, what is he talking about abandoning his sword?
Yeah, so we kind of get it here, like you're not allowed to have your sword in Farmatting. So when you come into Farmatting, they make you put the little peace bond on the sword.
Oh, they, like, wire it
They
up.
like wire it shut so that you're not allowed to draw your sword. So that's what happens with Rochade in a second.
Yeah, okay.
Is his is cut. So Rand's also thinking like, hey, I also don't want to lose my sword here because it was a gift from Avienda. So there's a couple different like angles to look at it here. I mean, and we have seen Rand fighting multiple people. If you remember his practice sessions, he was like paying people to come and fight him en masse. And like if you could touch him or beat him, he would pay you gold.
Yes.
So he is good at
Rand
fighting
has
multiple
had,
people.
and this is something I was actually going to note for this scene,
Yeah.
is the amount of fighting training
Is crazy.
that Rand has
Yep.
is crazy.
So, especially, well, it's kind of funny that you say that too, because not only is he like super powerful channeler training, he focused a lot on the hand-to-hand style.
Hand-to-hand combat with the Aiel.
With the Aiel, and then like the sword training with Lan, and like
Yep.
the spears and shit. Like he knows how to fight with his hands. This is the guy who, after he got out of Dumai's Wells, killed multiple warders with his bare hands.
Yes.
Like warders
Yeah.
with his bare hands.
No, I know that.
So-
I don't think Rochade quite knows that.
No, but like Rand's thought process on Rochade is, oh, this is probably one of those morons who spent all his time learning the power and didn't focus on his like sword training.
Right. Idiot.
Idiot. He's such a badass here, and that's part actually the reason why I initially love this chapter.
Yeah, it's
is
pretty
literally Rand.
Oh, he's a badass.
Yeah.
It's good. He's kind of dumb, but it's great.
Yes. Yeah, that is Rand.
Yeah.
That's Rand.
Yeah.
He's kind of dumb, but he's great.
Okay, so he finally catches up with Rochade.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Because Rochade, like, he lost me and flourished his
Right.
whatever.
Okay, so then a lot of detail happens, but basically Rochade goes down an alleyway.
Yeah.
Thinking he's not being noticed, and then Rand follows him down the alleyway.
Yeah. Rand's
Zip,
like,
zip,
haha,
zip,
I
through a
got
bunch
him.
of mazes.
Rochade's literally leading him down a maze of alleyways to trap him and,
And it
ambush
works.
him.
And it works.
Yeah.
Because Rand all of a sudden doesn't know where Rochade is, and he stops and then hears a boot kick a stone or something like that, and then he thinks, best to just kill the man and be done. But then he turns on another alley and Rochade is waiting for him.
Yes, haha.
And he throws his cloak back, and this is the formatting peace bond.
Yeah,
that's
so
been
it's the
cut.
little wire mesh thingy that, like, basically sticks your sword in its scabbard. You can't draw it,
yeah.
and then he cut it
He cut it.
to be, haha, I have a sword, and you do not.
And you do not, idiot.
Right.
I'm gonna win.
So Roche thinks that he's going to win because
Oh,
he's got
for
a sword.
sure.
Plus, it's
And-
2-on-1.
And he goes just on this huge monologue.
Oh, I love it.
You are so easy to bait. Run if you want.
Because also, Kisman is literally coming from behind in a second.
Yeah. And so Rand doesn't run, and instead he takes a step forward as Roche starts to draw his sword.
Yeah.
And then Rand slams his hand down on the end of Roche's sword
Yeah, like trap it in
to
there.
push it back in his scabbard. And he thinks to himself, he still doesn't realize that pausing to gloat has already killed him.
I know, it's such a
Which
badass
is a
line.
good line.
It's so good. It's like
And
Rand
then
is so
Rand-
badass.
Graphically
Yeah.
throat punches.
Oh, yeah.
And not just punches. I feel like he like grabs and squeezes, like
Yeah.
grabs
It's like crushes his throat
his
with his
throat
big hand.
with his hand.
So good. Like, here's the cartilage
And-
breaking.
And oh my,
Yeah. Go
okay.
Rand. That's a good way to. I mean, you just need him dead. It doesn't have to be fancy.
Yeah, I know that Brett, your personal favorite way to see a really bad guy die
Yeah.
is a throat bite.
Okay.
You talk about
I don't think it's
Every
implemented
time-
enough.
every time we're watching a show,
Yeah.
like a new show, whatever, and you think somebody should die,
Yeah.
and people are in close quarters, you say, throat bite,
Yeah.
throat bite.
Well, it all kind of started from The Walking Dead,
It did,
Rick Grimes'
yes.
throat bite. Like, I'm down for that because, like,
that is disgusting.
when you're outnumbered, chips are down, your life's on the
Nobody
line.
expects
Nobody
it.
expects
It's
the throat bite.
crazy.
Let's
It's
do it.
Crazy move.
It's a crazy move,
Yeah.
and crazy beats big most
and sometimes
days.
you're like, oh man, that guy needs his throat bitten out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's because, like,
That's
if you
your
don't,
favorite way.
if you don't
That's
think
your-
you can win hand to hand, go for the throat bite.
Throat bite. No
You're
one's expecting
No
it.
one's expecting it. It's gonna work.
Disgusting.
Fantastic. Rand is skilled enough. He doesn't need to
No,
go
doesn't
for
need
the
to
throat
bite.
bite. Just
Yeah.
the throat grab and rip your throat out.
Okay.
Okay.
So Rand is going to finish the job, and he hears a sound behind him, and he goes to the ground and grabs Rochade's sword
Does a super cool roll or whatever.
and rolls, and Kisman
Kisman
has tried to attack Rand from behind,
with his
but
sword.
he ends up driving his sword into Rochade's
Ha ha.
chest.
Ha ha.
And so now it's just Kisman and Rand.
Yeah.
And Rand says, "It's time to die."
It's pretty cool.
And then they hear the street guards coming.
Yes. Because they're like
And
the
then
entire chapter, the street
Kisman
guards are like,
starts,
on watch.
Freaking out.
Everyone starts
freaking out. Well, no. Kisman starts freaking out.
Kisman does. Yeah,
Rand
Rand's
does
not freaked
freak
out at all.
Rand doesn't care.
Rand's
Well,
like,
he,
I don't want to, yeah.
Yeah.
Rand has a separate
Kisman
reason.
is like, okay, listen, man. They're going to take us both. If they find us over top of a body, they'll hang us both.
So here's something you can kind of like think about, I guess, because we have other perspectives to get into in a second.
Right.
But Rand is kind of in a weird situation with Kisman and Rochade here.
Yeah.
Because why would Rochade and Kisman and Rand not be channeling yet at all against each other? And why now would Rand and Kisman be concerned about being taken captive by just like regular street guards? Like, Rand's the Dragon Reborn. Kisman's an Ashman. They can channel. Like, if it came down to, like, Rand and Kisman in a weird team up against street guards.
Is far matting a steading?
Okay.
Can they not channel?
Okay, go on. So, the hints we've seen so far?
Yeah.
LTT's like, this is the worst place I've ever been. I need to get out of here.
And Forsaken won't go there.
Okay. This would be a good spot to lure 5 channelers who want to kill you.
When you're really good at combat.
If no one can channel, we're all on the same equal footing here, and I'm better at sword fighting and throat punching than you are. That's a good answer.
Okay.
I like it. That would explain and the disguises. Why are we using Nynaeve's fantasy black hair dye?
Right.
Instead of just disguising ourselves if we actually want to stay hidden.
Yeah. Because we can't.
Because we can't. We can't channel here.
Okay, so then we're actually concerned.
This is concerning.
This feels bad.
We don't want to be taken by the street guards.
Okay. So did I do it? Did I figure it out?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you what setting, but, you know.
It feels maybe something, whether it's a setting or there's something happening in the air, in the water. Okay. You drink the water, you can't channel.
They all got poison.
It's all fork root. The
entire water supply.
But just in tiny amounts, it's just like affects your channeling.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Or
you got more?
Well, like I always have something to say.
Okay, all right.
But okay, important to note. Good.
I like it.
Yeah. So anyway, Rand nods. They separate, and Rand throws Rochade's sword down on his body, and he also starts running, and they go sort of opposite directions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is where Rand isn't afraid of being hanged, because his dragon tattoos would prevent that. Apparently, the councils here have accepted Elyda's weird decree.
Yeah.
So if he gets caught, he'll stay in a cell until the tower comes to collect him, which he's not into. That's not something he wants.
Doesn't want to be confined. He doesn't want to go to the tower either.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Now, we're going to perspective change.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should take a quick break.
Okay.
And then come on back.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Perspective change. That either has all the answers or no answers.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah.
So let's see. I have a few things that I'm gonna...
Yeah, bring them up.
Okay.
Bring them up. Let's do it.
Okay, so we're perspective changing into Kisman's point of view, which is interesting because I didn't know who that was.
Yeah.
Now, Kisman has just run away from his fight with Rand, and he's blending back into the crowd just in time to be missed by the guards. He sees some other guards hauling off some guy.
It's like the weirdest side story because they're hauling a prisoner who has nothing to do with anything.
No, it's just it's another guy who probably tried to steal something.
He's stuffed in a sack being carried on a big stick, and he's his head's poking out. It's what kind of weird basket sack is this?
That could have been me.
Yeah.
It's no, you know what could have been you?
It's dead.
Dead
guy.
with Rochade.
Yeah, just wait. There's time.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, I know. That part's really good.
Anyways, weird sack carrying prisoner method.
Now, he thinks about how foolish it was to let Rochade talk him into this plan.
Yep.
Because they were supposed to wait until everyone arrived. Because the plan was to slip into the city one by one to stay unnoticed, but Rochade wanted the glory of being the one to kill Rand.
There's glory, and we know that the orders for Rand right now is kill him, I guess, if you have to.
But maybe not.
But maybe not. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Super loosey-goosey. Yeah.
Right. So Kisman thinks that he wants power more than glory because he just wants to live forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those things had been promised to him. So then we get confirmation that these aren't just people who are disgruntled with Rand.
Yes, they're under orders.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not just upset.
They're dark friends.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because if you're promised immortality,
yeah,
you're a dark friend. So there was a moment,
yeah.
And this is, I think, maybe the first confirmation. If there was others, I missed it. That the attack on Rand wasn't disgruntled employees.
Okay.
From the whole Abu Dar thing.
Yeah. Yep.
It's dark friends.
Dark friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, it firmly...
dark friends within the Asherman ranks, no matter what.
Not only that.
What else is decided here tonight.
Not only that, but firmly puts Kisman, Gedwyn, Rochade,
Not necessarily Deshiva.
Not necessarily Deshiva, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so, because he's like dead or
Mhm.
gone.
Yeah.
But yeah,
However,
puts all those guys,
so
Torval, they're all
Torval.
actual Dark Friends.
That's right. So I get points.
Sure,
I was
yeah.
going to say, no
You know
matter what else is decided
I'll
here tonight.
give it to you. They're bad guys.
But you won't give me an ice cream cake. I get it.
No. There's more. You did not
No, I know.
bet an ice cream cake
Oh,
for just
I'm aware.
these
I'm aware.
peons.
But,
Yeah.
however, I like being right about some things.
Good.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Good. Right away.
And it's kind of like rewind all those conversations we had during the Abu Dar, Rand stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys were all Dark Friends, man. It's crazy.
I know that. I told you that.
Yeah, but I was like, not necessarily.
I know. That's
the whole time.
You're an idiot. You didn't even pick it up. How many
I
times
still
have you read
don't
this
believe
series?
it.
Right.
Kisman is really speaking for everyone here, and I don't know if he has that authority.
I see.
So.
Okay. Well, he's not actually sure if they're supposed to kill Rand or not.
Yeah, that's also an issue.
Okay.
Okay.
So this next paragraph
It's very important.
has been reread and analyzed
Okay.
more than I've read or analyzed anything.
Thousands of times.
Yeah. So I was listening to this chapter.
Okay.
And I was rewinding 30 seconds.
Yep.
Every time.
Oh, I get it.
And I was like, no. Okay, wait, what did he say? Is he confirming?
What's the phrasing?
Because I really thought at first it was like a confirmation.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh no, wait, there's more. Oh no, okay, back it up, listen again. And then I had to be like, I can't do this now. And I was like literally pulling into work at this moment. And I was like, I can't do this now.
Can you call in sick when you're at work?
It was too emotional. I had to stop.
Okay.
And then I had to get out the book. And this is where I had to dive in. So, Kisman
Yep.
thinks back to the orders he was given. The Mahale, Taim,
Yep.
had said, kill him, as the order when they were sent to Kyrian.
Okay.
And he had been as unhappy that they were found out as he was that they had failed.
Interesting. Okay, let's talk about that first little tidbit
So no
here.
matter what else happens...
Whoa.
I was also right about Taim wanting to kill Rand. No matter who Taim is,
Interesting.
right?
Does that paint Taim as a disgruntled employee who doesn't like his boss? Or
bad guy also.
as a dark friend?
Definitely dark friend.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I have some other things I need to talk about later.
Has
when I
Taim
make
been
a
a bad guy
decision.
this whole time?
Weird. Oh my god.
He brought Rand a seal for the Dark One's prison.
I know. Listen, that doesn't matter anymore, though, because they're all crumbling anyway. That was just like a trick.
Oh, okay.
We know that Taim, no matter what, whether Forsaken, whether Dark Friend, whether regular Dark Friend or important Dark Friend guy.
Sure.
Dreadlord, right? That's what it's called because he can channel technically and he's a Dark Friend.
Okay. That's
So-
like a higher ranking. Yeah, okay.
Probably. We know there was a Black Agile plot to free him.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we do.
that feels Dark Friendy from the beginning, no matter what.
Okay.
So he's already implicated.
Was he a dark friend before he was rescued? Or was that hey, let's get to the point where we can rescue him and be like, hey man, if you want to be free,
Ooh,
join the dark side.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm still not fully convinced this isn't Demandred. Because, let's move on.
Okay,
and
but
then we can talk about it all.
Firmly putting Taim in the he's a bad guy category?
Definitely evil side.
Okay.
Because they were found out. That's what that says to me. He was unhappy that they were found out.
Yeah.
That it's these guys with the attack.
Well, there was a lot of
Unless it's
suspicious
the
stuff
Ashen Man
happening.
situation.
There's a lot of suspicious stuff happening with the timing of Taim's visits to and from Rand and
that's
Elaine,
what I said.
and the people he put on the traitors
The
list
other
and
issue,
didn't.
just to be my own devil's advocate.
Okay.
I had at one point said Taim technically could be not a dark friend.
Okay.
And just
a bad guy?
Just want to be the dragon.
Okay.
He clearly wanted to be the dragon. He proclaimed himself
tried
dragon. He tried it. And
he only didn't because of the dumb Rand bails him on in the sky battle that the pattern was
that
nah.
That did happen.
Annoying.
So annoying.
Yeah.
And so maybe he was like, if we can get Rand dead, then maybe I can just proclaim myself
done
dragon.
Okay.
And I've said that sort of from the beginning.
Okay.
But then when things started feeling evilly and weird.
Is there a possibility?
Yeah.
that he's not specifically a dark friend
Well,
and just
here's the
a
deal.
bad dude.
Here's the deal. There's always a possibility for literally everything in these books.
Yeah.
My stance is no way.
Okay.
There's no way he's
You're in
not
your
a bad
hard
guy.
stance.
Well, the Black Aja freeing him really implicates him from the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, there are a couple more things about Taim here. So, Kisman thinks that formatting is their last chance to make this happen.
Yeah.
Killing Rand.
Yep.
Plus, after the Kyrianan attack, Deshiva had just vanished.
Mm-hmm.
And he's unsure about whether or not Taim killed him or if he's just run away.
Yeah.
So that kind of paints the picture that Deshiva wasn't in the Dark Friend gang.
Yeah. Well, let's highlight a couple of
And
weird
maybe
things about
was
Deshiva.
mad about Rand.
Let's highlight Deshiva for a second here. Deshiva was picked up originally into Rand's posse after Dumai's Wells.
Yeah.
Taim tried to get specific Ashaman to go with
Yes,
Rand.
yes.
And Rand said, that guy.
That guy.
And then Taim was like, that guy? Okay.
Yeah.
And it was weird, and Deshiva was like, what's
I
going
know,
on?
I called it all out. Yeah.
Super weird. And then we had Deshiva during the Ebu Darashanshan stuff. He was it seemed like he was trying to have a conversation with Drochid and Gedwin, and they were
Yes.
brushing him
And
off.
they were like, go away.
And he was like, not part of the club.
Yes.
He's like, can't sit with them at lunch at the, cool
That's
girls
right.
table.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the weird Kyrian attack where they were all talking again, and then Deshiva turns and he's the one who tries to blast Rand.
Right.
All super weird stuff. And now he's gone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Super weird, man.
So weird.
I don't know.
I know. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Dead or not dead?
Deshiva?
Yeah. Dead or not dead? Not dead? Dead. Dead? Not dead.
Not dead.
Not dead. Okay.
Vanished. Ran
Dead.
away.
On the run. Okay.
On the run.
Okay.
On the lamb.
Mm.
No, maybe dead.
Oh.
Okay, on the run.
Okay.
On the run. That's
Okay.
more fun.
Sure.
That's more fun, because then there's
We
more
didn't
lead.
see him die.
Didn't see him die.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, didn't see him die. So, after that whole thing, you're like, oh, this is confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Taim is clearly a bad guy working with Dark Friends. He is giving orders
Yeah.
to these Dark Friends, so he's very high ranking,
Yeah.
which makes him Forsaken Demandred. However,
Okay.
the next sentence.
Yeah.
Kisman thinks about another order he had from Demandred to kill Rand.
Shoot.
Directly from Demandred.
Okay.
Demandred had added that it would be better if he died than let himself be discovered again.
Yeah. So.
By anyone,
Yeah.
even the Mahale, as if he did not know Taim's order. So this is a person
There's two
who
possibilities.
has seen
Yeah.
Demandred
Yeah.
and has seen Taim and has seen them as two separate people.
Or
But we know
different
Taim
visitations.
looks different. Exactly.
Yeah, you could disguise yourself and just because you're getting a visit
That's
from.
my point.
Yeah.
You're saying what I need to say.
Absolutely. Hypothetically, if Demandred
And it's
is
the same
Taim,
order. It's literally
it is the same order. And here's a thought process. Hypothetically, if Demandred is Taim, he could give the order to Kisman as Taim, and then also give the order to Kisman as Demandred to double down on the order giving.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
The weird thing.
okay.
The weird thing.
Okay. Go
Remember, we had a Forsaken gathering a little while ago.
ahead. Yeah.
And Demandred
And
was
somebody else
was
too
pretty furious that the stupid attack
went wrong.
went terribly wrong in
Yeah,
Kyrian. And
but
who
there
was
are-
offended? Someone got offended by that comment.
Yeah, Osengar.
Osengar was like,
Now I need you.
what do you mean by that?
Yes. So
Okay.
I need you
Okay,
to tell me.
sure,
You might need to look it up because
Okay.
you probably aren't prepared for this.
maybe.
The first time we meet Osengar
Yeah,
coming back in, because
okay,
we see that scene.
yeah,
It happens in a prologue, I think.
yeah.
What book is that? When do we see that?
What book is that?
Yeah, when do we see that for the first time? Because that will inform future decisions and speculations I make.
So when we get introduced to Osengar is when we're introduced to Erengar.
That's true, yeah.
That was the beginning, the prologue of Lord of Chaos, book 6.
Oh, the prologue of Lord of Chaos.
Yeah, then we saw Erengar coming in as Halima.
Yeah, we saw that. I don't care about that at all.
Okay.
Okay, Osengar, and then we haven't seen him really since.
Not really, no. We saw some thought processes about it.
But we see...
Yeah.
When do we first meet Taim? In what book? Coming into Camelin.
Oh, like book 5 or something? Yeah.
No, the end of book 5, isn't that when they beat Ravine? Wouldn't that be in book 6, the beginning of book 6?
Oh, yeah, it was literally chapter 1 of Lord of Chaos, yeah.
Taim comes in
Yeah,
right after
Mazrim
the
Taim,
prologue of Osengar being transmigrated potentially into Mazrim Taim's body.
Mazrim Taim's not like a dead like, what are you talking about?
They killed him.
Well, okay, hold on.
Maybe
So are
he
you
died.
saying...
Maybe he died, and they got his body,
Okay.
and they're using it.
So Taim isn't Demandred, he's Osengar?
Osengar, maybe.
Are you switching?
Maybe.
We need a whole new bet now.
I haven't decided yet, I know. But
okay.
It certainly makes... I mean, like, I could see it working timeline-wise.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So personality-wise, it doesn't necessarily seem like it adds up as well. Just because we saw Osengar, and Demandred's thought process about Osengar was like, he knows who he is, and he knows who he's going to challenge and who he's not. And Osengar is like kind of passive as a dude. And Mazrim Taim is not a passive guy. He is not like a kind of a meek
Maybe. I'm trying to fit some puzzle pieces together.
That one fits worse. Like the Demandred as Taim fits better than the...
See, but everything... I don't trust anything you say.
Yeah, that's fair too. Okay.
So,
yeah,
like,
I agree with that.
You can say anything you
want. I'm trying to work within the boxes that you're painting.
You can say that Osengar shoots candy canes out his butt, and I
well,
don't
he
even
does.
care.
That's just a different weave.
Yeah.
It's all just the weave.
See, don't care. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so immediately, I was like, oh, fuck. It felt on a read, like my very first listen through, read through, I was defeated. I was like, oh, this is it.
Okay.
This is the confirmation. That's annoying.
Yeah.
And then I was like thinking about it, and I was like, you know,
it's not confirmation.
It's not confirmation, because the actual what it says is kill him. Demandred had commanded later.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
It came later
command,
at a separate same time.
And if we're in Kisman's perspective.
Yeah. And it's even Kisman thinking like, oh, Demandred's saying it like he doesn't know the Mahale's orders.
Yeah.
But like if they're the same person, he's just doubling down on making sure these Asha'man don't screw up again.
Right. And if he's in disguise.
Yeah.
As that he can look like two different people. Because we know Mazrim Taim looks a certain way.
Yeah.
And Demandred looks a certain way.
You can change your appearance. That's a thing you can do.
Yeah.
It's on the table still?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Can I hedge? No,
In
I've
which
never
direction
been allowed
are you
to do
hedging?
That.
Yeah.
I don't want to give up the fact that Taim is a Forsaken. I just still think Osengar might be also on the table. Just
Osengar
because
is Where is Osengar? Where in the world is
Osengar?
Yeah, Osengar.
Yeah. Osengar. We've made that joke before. We're repeating jokes now.
That happens. That happens.
Okay. Just based on what I think it was Grandal or Sindate, somebody was like, hey, you idiots, you two were supposed to be watching him and you've lost him.
Yeah, it was Osengar.
Yeah, I know, that's why.
Osengar and Demandred were supposed to be watching.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Taim is either one of those two dudes.
Okay.
So.
Oh, man. This is tough.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Bad guy.
Okay.
Not looking out for Rand. And remember at the end of Crown of Swords where I was like, oh, Taim totally wants him dead. He ordered this.
Yeah.
Like, it's clear he did. Even if Taim isn't anything, at least I get that.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
But he is.
Cool. Yeah.
Turns out, not admitting defeat.
Yeah.
My first read through, though, I was so ready. I was like, I guess I need to go buy a bottle of whiskey.
Interesting.
I was like, and then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. It's that stubbornness kicking in. There you go.
Yeah,
okay, I like it.
Okay, and then another little order that
literally
there's more. Means less.
Yeah.
He thinks about another order.
Another other order
later.
Yeah.
Which had come from Moradin.
All right.
Saying,
Top
kill
dog.
him if you must, but most importantly, bring all his possessions to me. That will redeem you of all your screw-ups.
Yeah, and you know what Moradin wants.
Well, because this is clearly after the Forsaken meeting when he learns about the
Choden
giant...
Call. Yeah, Choden Call. Yeah, he wants the Choden Call.
Yes.
He wants the Sangreal. So, there we go. That makes sense.
Okay. So, did we suss that out enough, I think?
I mean, as much as if you're not going to, admit defeat or, hard stance it as it's still on the table. And I think that's a good way to put it. It's not definitively This was a very controversial chapter.
Were you coming into this? If I was admitting defeat, would you...
I never expected you to admit defeat.
Oh, never?
I didn't think you were going to.
Okay.
I thought that you'd be like, down on it a little bit, and then you'd realize that it's not actually confirmation. Because it very easily...
You weren't ready to give any confirmation today?
Oh, no, not at all. Okay. No. I figured that you would be a little bit...
That's why there's no, ice cream.
That's why there's nothing here.
But you specifically were like, there's no bottle of whiskey here.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
You could have surprised me.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I presented a bottle of whiskey to you, would you be like, you're right?
No, I would probably give it back.
Would you?
I would. I can make an argument where they're still totally the same people.
Okay, you're not confirming.
No, I'm not confirming. Yeah.
Okay.
It works for the information we've been presented that they might still be the same people.
Okay. All right. Well, at this point, Kisman decides that once Torval and Gedwin arrive, they'll figure something out, but then something stings his right arm and he stares down at the blood spreading through his shirt.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like a deep cut.
No,
but
it's just like a slash.
Super weird. Why would someone cut his forearm?
And he's in a crowd.
Yeah.
It's like...
and then a man whispers, "He belongs to me."
Excellent. I like it.
Thank you.
Okay.
But then he turns and there's no one there. But then the wound starts to throb and burn, and he presses his hand against the slash, his arm feels swollen and hot, and then suddenly it's black and bloated.
Excellent.
And he starts to run and push past people, and I was like, oh, I was wondering where Fane is.
No, he's here!
Here he is.
I'll confirm that for you.
Here he is. Oh, yeah.
Who has the magical slashy dagger that makes you turn into a black bloated corpse?
And who also thinks that Rand belongs to him.
I know, it's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, reasons why I love this chapter so much is
twists, turns,
the information, and then this death scene, it's so good.
Oh, this is a good death scene.
And then this is kind of like the Pedro Nile death scene.
Yeah.
Robert Jordan really likes to write from the perspective of you knowing you are dying and then you're dead.
Yeah.
And the fade to black of death.
Yeah.
He does a great job of it, I think.
Yeah. I'm concerned here, though, because Rand feels as though he has a list of people to kill before he can move on with his life.
Yeah.
But he won't already know that this guy is dead.
True.
So...
he'll forever be in a loop.
And then same with, Deshiva, we don't know if he's dead or gone.
Yeah.
And then he's like... those are on his list, but he's not going to be able to get them.
That's true.
So that's concerning slightly.
It's not good. And also it's concerning, more so, that Padan Fane is in Farmadding, where Rand is, and he's like, he belongs to me, and Padan Fane clearly has a bit of a vendetta.
Wants to go get him.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right. And then we get all this stuff about him dying.
His thought process is I just need to get out of the city and up over past the lake and over the hill, and then I'll be safe, because...
well, and then I'll have a chance.
Yeah, I have a chance to meet up with my buddies who could heal this wound.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't get far enough.
No, does not. And, he was promised immortality. Which is, funny.
Shoot.
Because everything's going dark, his face hits the ground, and then the last thing he thinks is one of the Chosen has decided to punish him for something.
Yeah, but who knows what, and it's too late. Goodbye, Kisman, you're dead now.
Yeah, it doesn't even know why or how.
Yeah, it's a pretty good death scene. I like this murder, because it's a spooky Fane murder. We haven't seen that guy for a while.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump quick into our next perspective. Back with Rand.
Yep.
He's getting back to the inn where he's staying, and he heads in to see Lan at a table by himself and gives him a nod towards the stairs.
It's a cool nod, like a we gotta talk.
Yeah. And I specifically noted that Lan wearing his, Hadori?
Yeah, he has it, because he's not disguising himself.
No.
Rand's super cool disguise.
Rand thinks, people are looking at Lan wearing that, and it matters more if they're in Shinar.
True. Yes,
and
that's a good point.
I thought this was something really to note.
Because
Same with the
Malkieri.
note about Nynaeve's...
yeah, Kaisine.
Yeah. I was like, we're in the Borderlands.
Yeah, we're not.
And they're doing these Borderland traditions, and people know about them now and stuff.
But here it's just basically they're standing out.
It doesn't matter at all.
No, and Rand has this whole thing where I'm in disguise and nobody else is in disguise.
Because he thinks about Nynaeve's kissing drawing attention.
Yeah.
And I was like, that would draw attention if we're in Shinar.
Yeah. But, okay, keep in mind, just for the record, one of the misconceptions, sometimes, reading the series, Lan is not the last Malkieri ever.
Yeah.
Malkier fell as a nation, but everybody who survived and left Malkier just moved to different like cities.
Yes.
They left the nation.
Yeah.
So Lan's not the last Malkieri ever.
Uncrowned king.
He's the uncrowned king.
Yeah.
There's Malkier guys and ladies still around in the Borderlands.
Yes.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Okay.
He's not the last one ever.
But still, he's an important Malkieri.
Yes. Most random people wouldn't know Lan from looking at him, though.
Yeah.
They might recognize the Hidori.
Yes.
But that also was like, a long time ago.
Okay.
Because Lan's like almost 50 probably.
When he rolled into Faldara, everyone knew him.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's like right beside.
I know, but like
Farmading?
No, but
in your perspective, where you're like, oh,
Moran, what's it called?
Yeah. If you thought Farmading was in the Borderlands,
I read this entire chapter thinking that's where they were until I got to the book.
Yeah.
And there was a map.
Fair.
So
totally fair.
Just a little warning.
Yeah. It's important.
Precautionary tale for those audiobook listeners.
Yeah.
Solely audiobook listeners. There are things to be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
The important part.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Rand notices a few people glance at him, but for some reason they look away hurriedly when their eyes meet his.
Yeah. So Rand looks at Lan, and he's like, oh, Lan looks like a dangerous guy.
Yeah.
And then all the people look at Rand, who's literally just throw-punched a dude to death, and doesn't really think about it.
Well,
he's also a dangerous-looking guy.
Okay. There are several times throughout this chapter where Rand notes to himself that people are looking at him weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually thought, does he have blood splattered all over his face?
He might.
And he doesn't know.
So Rand isn't good at like the self-reflection side of things.
No, bad at it, actually.
He's very bad at looking and seeing what he looks like to other people. Whether it's like the crazy laughing, or the looks, or the muttering to himself. Mm-hmm. He's a dangerous-looking guy.
Yeah.
And
even with black hair.
Yeah. This perspective right here, the most important thing that I remember, the reason why it's my favorite chapter, I like to pick chapters that I remember forever. And it's Min's reaction to Rand when he describes what happens.
Oh, interesting. Yes. Okay, let's get there then.
So I want to get there.
Okay, so Rand stops at the door of the women's section of the common room.
Yeah.
And the innkeeper is there at a table with Min, Nynaeve, and...
Olivia.
The
uber powerful Damani, who went mysteriously missing.
I was like, it honestly didn't surprise me that she had escaped. I was yep, makes sense.
And when I brought that up, because they were all missing, you were the one who brought up, like, oh, that's separate. She's not linked to the whole Nynaeve leaving and taking...
I did not.
And I was shocked by that, because I linked them together, because, like, I wasn't...
Well, because you know.
No, but, like, when I first read through...
No, you don't remember.
I'm not smart enough to think about people going off in other directions. I just think, oh, they all left. That's the way I read books. So,
oh, no.
I never looked at, like, the subtle stuff like that. And then to see them all together wasn't a shock for me, because I was like, I guess so.
What? Like, my mind was blown. I was so
It's really funny. Yeah, it's great. I was shocked. Yeah, no.
Sometimes I overcomplicate things. Did you know that about me?
Well, yeah, you were just like, hey, maybe Osengar is actually Taim or something.
And Demandred.
They're both the same. Yeah.
They're identical twins.
Yes.
Okay, so that's an interesting dynamic that's happening. Now, Rand is still not totally comfortable with this former Damane.
Yeah.
But Nynaeve has claimed the woman insisted on coming along, even though nobody, quote, insists anything with Nynaeve.
Yeah.
And it was probably part of Nynaeve's scheme. You know who else she should have roped into this and brought along?
Who?
That one who really wanted to leave.
Oh, yeah, Talaan.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah. But, like, how many stragglers are we bringing with
Exactly. And Olivia's, like, the most powerful person ever.
That's true.
She's, like...
Actually, you know what? Bringing her makes so much sense now.
Why?
Because we think of Nynaeve as being so super powerful to use the female.
She's not even top dog anymore.
Did we bring her along so she could channel?
Are we going to go cleanse the source after this?
With the Damane?
What? That's crazy. Don't even. What?
You're bad at hiding your face on that one.
Okay. That's good.
And Nynaeve admitting that somebody can do something that she can't?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That would be like
That'd
a
be
lot of
character growth.
That'd be too much for Nynaeve. I don't know if Nynaeve can deal with that.
That is a lot of character growth.
There's a weird dynamic going on between Olivia and Nynaeve here because like Olivia is almost scolding Nynaeve in a few, spots.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. I don't know.
It's true, but interesting. Okay, I didn't know that was a big part that we need to talk about, but turns out, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Olivia.
All right.
Now let's talk about standing out because the Hidori stands out, the Kaisine stands out, but
And
what's
all
more,
of her jewelry.
she's decked out because she has
So
all the
decked out.
terangriel about like the.
Oh, is that what she has?
It's all the decked out terangriel stuff that she stole. That's like the matching, the matching, the belt, the
Necklace,
rings,
the rings.
it's everything.
Ah.
And she's wearing all of it. She's not wearing the Great Serpent Ring. That would be
crazy.
Stand out-ish.
Yeah. Now, Rand does his polite greeting as per Farmatting rules, which is interesting because also in Shinar there are weird rules about how to greet people and like men and women are separate.
Yep.
So it all fit. It all fit.
It does.
To be
like,
in the
no,
Borderlands.
I'll give it to you.
Okay. Now, he says to Min, "Wife, I need to speak with you upstairs if it pleases you."
Mm-hmm.
And then Min loves being called wife.
Loves it.
But we're not like actually married, right?
No. We're not actually married.
Okay. Now, the women say a few words to the innkeeper before they go up, but Rand thinks that Olivia looks nothing like she did when he had originally handed her over to Taim.
Yeah.
Because she's not a meek Damani anymore. She has a fierce look in her eyes.
Yeah, no, she's definitely like come up. She got the backbone.
Yes.
Right?
Now, Rand heads upstairs without waiting for them, and Lan is already there. Rand gives him a basic recap of what happened, and Lan just says at least one of them is done.
Yeah. So this is the conversation between like two stone cold killer guys of like, all right,
One
you got
down.
one down. It's like
down.
4 to go. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rand heads into his room, starts pulling all the clothes out of his wardrobe, and starts
I love it.
shoving them
Yes. Love
in
the
the bags.
Yeah, do it.
And
Get
then
it in
Min,
there.
Nynaeve, and Olivia show up, and then Min takes over.
Because he's just like shoving
And
clothes.
she's like, "You're going to ruin those.
Yeah.
Those are going to be so wrinkly."
Which is fair.
So she starts taking them out and folding them neatly.
Mm-hmm.
Now Min asks Rand why they're packing and what's happening.
Yeah. There's a lot of like other stuff.
There's a lot of back and forth between the women.
It's formatting
and
culture
how-
building.
Well,
Yeah.
it's how they like their men. It's like weird.
It's kind of like Abu Dar, where the women have like a power dynamic over the men,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but like different way of is seemingly more severe in some senses.
It
I don't
feels
know.
like most places we go, the women think they have lots of power over the men,
Yeah,
and the men all think women are very confusing and stubborn.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean that's
like,
fair.
it just seems like a trope almost. Like no matter where we kind of go,
Yeah.
there's always some funny quote dynamic about men and women.
And then the other funny dynamic is nobody understands the
'Cause
relationships that other people are in.
you know where men are from?
Mars,
Yep, and you know where women are from?
Venus,
We're different.
different people.
That's very 90s.
I was gonna say Mercury.
That's
Can't
very
remember.
Yeah, it's very like that's the theme.
Right. Yeah.
It's gender dynamics at its
Switch it
finest.
up. And then with the people don't understand other people's relationships, when Nynaeve's like, who wants a man who's going to do whatever you tell him? And then Min and Rand are like, what? That's what your relationship is like with Lan. But then
But it's
clearly
like
they don't
nobody
think so.
knows their relationships.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's okay,
stupid. Okay,
cool.
So Min is asking like, why are we leaving? What's happening? So
Yeah.
Rand tells them that they have to get going quickly, and then we get the recap of events.
Yeah, same thing he told Lan. He's telling the ladies now because they're finally here.
Yeah. And so essentially he just tells them that because Kismin got away, and if they know where his inn is, they could be here.
Yeah. Well, he almost like misreads the situation because they're all just like staring at him. And he's like, guys, like they ambushed me, killed one, and now he got away. So like we got to go.
Yeah. And Nynaeve is like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah, we understand that part.
But then they're just like staring at him. And then this is where I'm like, does he have like something on his face? Like he's so like, oh, why are they just staring at me?
The thing is, Rand just gives an absolutely crazy story about being ambushed in an alley by two men with swords and then throat punching one of them to death.
Yeah.
And then like running and leaving the other one there. Like it's a crazy story.
Yeah.
And then double that up with Min's feelings towards it too. Like it is kind of crazy.
Right.
And Rand's telling it super levelly about like,
Okay.
we gotta go.
Well,
Yeah.
even Olivia kind of glares at him and is like, you could get yourself killed like that.
Yeah.
You must let us help. And then she's like, I guess I'm going to go get ready. And
Yeah.
she leaves. But then everybody leaves and it's just Rand and Min left, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
I really cut out quite a bit.
Yeah.
But Rand asks Min, have you had any viewings about her, like Olivia?
Yeah.
And Min is like, yeah, tons, all the time, but nothing important, or nothing that I understand yet.
Yes. Yeah.
And maybe I don't trust Min fully.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, she usually tells him everything.
I know she does.
If it was dangerous, for sure, she would
Oh,
tell
if it was
him.
dangerous, yeah, but there's some stuff that she's probably not sharing.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, do you think that she's sharing about, Avienda's future babies with Rand? Like, no.
Okay.
Or
We're
even
just going to block
Elaine's.
that out of our minds.
Yeah, exactly, right? So she for sure knows stuff that Rand doesn't.
Okay,
It's
fair
just
enough, fair
how important she finds it for the moment. Now, Min slowly asks, and she goes, Rand, you did all of that, killed a man, faced another, and I didn't feel anything in the bond. No fear, no anger, no concern, nothing.
Yeah. Rand's best response.
Well, listen, at this point,
yeah.
I thought her bond was malfunctioning
Oh.
because she's not a channeler.
Okay. No.
It's
That's
not
not what's
that.
happening.
It's not that.
No. Because Rand's like, well, I wasn't angry with him. He just needed to be dead, and why would I be afraid of him?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a better fighter.
I can kill him.
So I'm just going to, on the record, the reason why originally when I read this chapter, I was like, this is the coolest chapter I've ever read. It's because when I was younger, it's like, oh dang,
No emotion.
Rand's so cool. He's stone cold, no emotion, kill the guy. Like just quintessential, kind of very cool action scene, and double that with like a cool dude, no emotion.
Yep.
And that's why I initially latched onto it. But as I have grown older, maybe
this is a problem. Yeah.
that's literally the change. It's like, okay, so Rand is literally in a state, he is devoid of all emotion.
Most, yep.
He doesn't feel anything. He's shut off from everything. That's bad for mental health. Like, this is not a good Rand
really?
mentality.
I didn't know that was that weird.
Me reading it the first time, I was like, cool guy, kills people.
Oh, yeah.
Stone cold, man, let's do this.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh no.
Dang.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This might not be a good thing for
Yeah, and then Min goes, oh, okay then. And Rand
he,
isn't really understanding the issue.
He misreads it again.
And he's like, I promise I won't let anything happen to you.
It's like, that's not the problem, man.
And then Min's like, yeah, but I don't want anything to happen to you.
It's like, you should have felt something.
Yes.
Like, yeah, literally something here.
And then Min says, Olivia's right. You should let us help somehow. Like, we could ask questions in the city.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then Lews Therin chimes in
Aha,
with the helpful, we are dead men. Dead men should be quiet in their graves, but they're not.
Yeah, thanks, Lews Therin. Like, okay.
And then suddenly Rand knows he won't have to describe Kismin and the others. He'll be able to draw them so well that anyone would recognize their faces, except he's never been able to draw, but Lews Therin has.
Yeah, okay.
And that should frighten him, but it doesn't.
Yeah, so the artistic endeavors of Rand versus Lews Therin. Is this a real skill that Rand has, or is he just bonkers?
No. I think Lews Therin can draw, and Lews Therin is
Therefore,
like...
Rand can draw?
Now, yes. Just now.
I could see Rand having the thought, like, I can draw now, but if he actually tried to put that into practice,
Sketch artist.
it'd be, like, terrible.
Uh-huh.
Like,
well, I've seen courtroom drawings of people who claim to be sketch artists. Those things are terrible.
right?
Why is that even a thing? You
I know.
At this
Literally,
point?
the street artists in, like, big cities
Yeah.
are usually better.
I know. Anyway,
all right.
I think he can. I think that this was like a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a thing.
Okay, all right.
Sharing abilities now.
So that's...
It's making Lews Therin, like, more real.
Are you concerned?
No.
Rand's
I love
not
this.
concerned.
I love it. I'm not... Rand's not concerned. I'm not concerned.
What other skills? We got the earlobe rubbing.
Yeah. I think we can move on. I don't
Okay.
think this matters that much.
All right,
I
all
think
right,
it's
all
just
right.
like add it to the list.
Add
you
to
know?
the list of issues.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Cool.
take a quick break and then we'll come back for the last and final perspective.
All right.
That's what last means. I don't have to say final. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, let's do this. So, perspective change to someone just as bad to be in the head of
Love it.
as Fane.
Okay.
You know how I used to be like, ugh, gross, I hate being in Fane's perspective.
For sure.
That's how I felt about this.
Well, knowing that Isam is supposed to be hunting down Fane.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
And they're in the same city.
And apparently now Nynaeve and Lan also are being hunted.
No. Rand and Min.
Oh.
It's his nephew. Luke is Rand's uncle. Rand is the nephew.
But okay, let's get to it.
Okay.
Okay, because, okay.
Isam is
But-
the cousin.
Cousin.
Yeah.
I thought Lana Nynaeve.
Yeah, no, not Rand.
It's Rand.
Rand. It's Rand specifically, and then the wench or whatever he calls her.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought it was a land
Interesting,
plot.
yeah.
Because I was like, oh yeah, bring him into something.
You know what? Why not? Why not both?
Everything is always about Rand.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the Dragon Report.
Okay, let's talk about it.
He's the guy.
I know. So Isam,
Yep.
the cousin
Of Lan.
of Lan,
Yep.
is in Tel'aran'rhiod. He's pacing around the room, and he thinks he could not use Tel'aran'rhiod in the way that the Chosen can, but here is where he feels most free.
Yes.
So he
Yeah.
stops beside a bed, and he takes out 2 poison daggers, and then steps out of Tel'aran'rhiod into the real world, because apparently that's something he can do.
Yeah, we got to talk about all this before we move on. And when he steps in, he becomes Luke.
He becomes Luke.
So
Yeah.
here, couple things. So, first off, things to think about. He uses Tel'aran'rhiod differently than from how the Chosen use it, which is kind of weird, because we don't know. It doesn't seem like Isam/Luke, who are Slayer, right? They're collectively
Yes.
Slayer. They don't channel. They're not channelers.
No.
And we see the Chosen channeling to, like,
Open
get into
a
and out of.
like Rand, for example,
Yeah.
channeling a gateway.
Yeah.
To like get into Tel'aran'rhiod in the waking world.
The mystery Forsaken, who is in Tel'aran'rhiod and then gateways out, also like channeling, and Slayer doesn't do that here. So just a thought process of like, what does he mean by I
Well,
don't use it the same way?
It doesn't sound to me like he uses it in a different way, but it was almost like self-deprecating. I can't use it in the same way the Chosen do.
So he seems like he's not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not as good at
Okay,
them
okay.
as Tel'aran'rhiod. But we do get later in this perspective that he has been given gifts.
Well, he can literally step into and out of Tel'aran'rhiod
Yes.
without gateway, just like in the moment, instantaneously.
Mhm.
And thinking even like Perrin, for example, he has to go to sleep to get into the wolf dream.
That's right.
He can't just like bamf in and out. So it's a pretty cool power.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And to change your appearance and...
Yeah. Well, he switches because he's literally 2 people.
Yeah, I know. Which I don't even want to talk about.
Okay.
I can't get into the metaphysics of that. I can't.
Slayer is Isam and
I can't
Luke.
wrap my head around
They're
it.
the same person.
I get it. No, I know. I get it. I still don't want to talk about it.
Okay, that's
Yep.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
I mean, I will understand that there are 2 people
Yep.
who at some point became one,
Yep.
and I'm just going to accept that fact and then move on with my life, and I'm not going to focus on how or why
Yeah.
or how.
Well, just think of
You
the
know?
prophecy where it's like, oh, Luke went into the mountains or whatever. You go into the mountains and that happened. There you go. Boom.
Boom.
Easy. That's how it works.
Boom.
Yeah.
2 people
Bang.
become one.
Did it.
Spice Girls wrote a song about that.
Yes. Yes.
To become
That's
one.
what it is.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's a song parody.
And then you
if
get
I've ever
the
heard
ability to go into and out of Tel'aran'rhiod.
one. To murder people.
There you
So
go.
let's get into that. Because that's great. More
Yeah.
murder.
Ultra Assassin. Okay. So he's in the room, in the real world.
Yeah.
Now he's Luke.
He has poison daggers, and he stabs and stabs and stabs and stabs
Stab, stab, stab.
2
Stab,
people
Stab. Yep.
lying in a bed.
Yeah. Seemingly just like random people. Sorry, guys.
That's kind of what it feels like.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And he really likes killing people.
Yep. But then also,
He doesn't want the poison to do it. He wants to be the one killing them.
it's an artist's signature.
Gross.
He wants to leave his mark.
Okay.
You have to get in the head of Isam.
But the problem
and
is,
Luke.
I really don't want to.
But do it.
So finally, they die. Isam wipes the daggers very carefully,
Yeah. Gotta clean him.
and this is where he thinks he had been given many gifts, but immunity to poison and other weapons were not one of those gifts.
Good to know. He's not like an immortal
Right.
person.
Yeah.
He can be killed. And we saw him take an arrow
Yes,
in Tel'aran'rhiod,
that's
though.
true.
So it didn't translate
but
entirely.
he rode away
Yeah. As Luke in the real
because
world.
obviously he was there in the waking world or in his own waking world, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
So Isam in the dream against Per
Yes, I know.
took the arrow and
Yeah.
then came out as Luke.
Yeah.
So
So Isam takes a candle out of his pocket and he lights it. He really wants to look at the people
likes
that
to
he
see
killed.
it. Yep.
And he especially enjoyed killing the 2 Aes Sedai in the Stone of Tyr.
Wow. So do you remember their
Tongues
names?
nailed to a door.
Yeah.
Black Aja ladies.
Yep. Amiko.
Nope. And
And
Joya.
Joya.
I remembered.
Egwene's daughter's non-daughter's name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Non-daughter.
Yeah.
Non-daughter's name.
The
yeah.
non-daughter she definitely doesn't want to have.
She definitely for sure doesn't want.
No children.
No children.
Yeah, and specifically, Luke thinks that had been Esam, not him. But the memories are the same.
Okay.
So the good distinguishing feature there is that it's not like Esam is in the dream world and Luke is in the real world. They can both be in either world. It's not like a one and the other thing.
Okay, but they super liked killing Aes Sedai.
Yeah, they don't get to do it very often.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Luke stays as Luke and steps back into Teleran.
Yeah. Yeah. We open with Esam and then switch to Luke and we stay as Luke.
Oh, okay. I think at one point I have like Esam wiping the daggers.
It's very confusing because then Luke thinks
and Esam.
And Luke thinks about Esam as his other half.
Right.
So it is kind of confusing.
It's both. It's just both.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so once he's back in Tel'aran'rhiod, there's somebody waiting for him, and he knows it's a man who is giving him orders, but he's not able to look at this guy.
Yes, not directly.
But it's not like one of those greasy, slippery gray men who you don't notice, because he had killed one of them once.
This is such a funny reveal too.
In the White Tower itself.
We get two.
Oh, with a crossbow, perhaps?
Yeah, so here's a recall. Okay, the Dragon Reborn, chapter 15. The Gray Man is what the chapter was called. Nynaeve and Egwene were together. Egwene wasn't in her room, so she's not there.
And then immediately after this, it's like Lanfear in disguise, right? It's like a whole thing.
Well, there's a couple of things going on. So they crossbow bolt almost takes out Egwene, and then Nynaeve traps the Gray Man in air down the hallway. But by the time they get there, there's a dagger sticking out of the Gray Man.
Okay, so the crossbow was meant for
the Gray Man tried to crossbow bolt Egwene.
That's right. Okay.
Missed because Egwene stops Nynaeve quickly in a crazy way. Whatever, that's fine.
Bends down to polish her slipper.
And then Gray Man takes off because he missed. They trap him in air. Esam/Luke bamfs in, stabs Gray Man, bamfs out.
Okay. What's this word you keep using?
When you bamf somewhere?
Yeah, what is that?
Zip zap.
You made that up.
I'm pretty sure it's something that's used either in a game or something.
You made it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zip zaps in and out. It's like a made up word. Like we get what you're saying when you say it, but I've never heard that word in my life.
Okay. I've used it for a long time.
To describe jumping in and jumping out of anywhere.
That's what the word I used to describe it.
Interesting.
I don't know where it came from. It might be a real world.
No, you made it up.
That's not the important part. The important part is after the Gray Man is trapped in air now, in like a jelly air cube.
I remember, yep.
Dagger sticking out. Who shows up at the top of the hallway?
Lanfear.
No, Sheriam. Sheriam shows up and is like, what's this? And then they explain right?
Okay.
And then Sheriam's like, don't tell anyone. I'll cover this up.
Oh, and did that make me skeptical of Sheriam?
A little bit, not very much. Then a few chapters later, another dead gray woman, appears in Sheriam's bed.
Oh.
I know, right? Crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I should be more skeptical of Sheriam.
Well, she did have that super weird thing happening in the Rebel Aes Sedai camp where they're like, you need to tell us more about what Egwene's doing.
Okay.
Did you totally block that out of your memory?
All of it.
You need to reread that.
The whole series?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, starting.
I can't deal with that.
Start over again.
There's so much happening. I can't. My brain is so done. I'm
There's
done.
that tidbit little perspective of Sheriam getting back to her tent.
We can talk about this.
People were not happy about it. Anyways,
it's fine.
So that's what happened. So Slayer is the one who killed that Gray Man too.
Sure.
There you go.
Okay.
Like the one in the hallway. We don't know
we
about
hadn't been introduced to him yet.
No. No,
because that was Shadow Rising.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Perrin's time to shine, was Shadow Rising.
Nah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so we're back in Tel'aran'rhiod, talking to this guy who's probably definitely a Forsaken.
Yep. And this is where Luke's like, not the ones we were looking for.
They're dead. It's a bald man and a old lady.
Yeah, just random people.
Yeah, and the man says, a pity. And then Luke figures the man must be one of the Chosen, basically because no one else knows how to reach him.
Yeah. And no one would dare to reach him and whatever.
So Luke is like, hey, do you want me to try again? And the man says, perhaps, when I tell you, but not before. Remember, not a word of this to anyone. And Luke is like, don't worry. I literally talk to nobody.
I don't have a lot of friends,
Yeah,
man.
who does he talk to?
Luke has a blog. Yeah, so don't add this.
Luke Thoughts.
LukeThoughts.com /
Yeah.
the internet. Anyways.
Anyway, he says, as you command, but the man is already making a gateway into a snowy forest glade. And I was like, Demandred.
Oh,
Going
maybe.
back to the Black Tower. Because isn't that, like, in a kind of foresty place? Anyway.
A snowy forest glade, it means Black Tower?
I don't know. No,
like
it
the
doesn't.
whole world
No, it
discovered
literally
and stuff.
doesn't mean that at
It's
all.
literally anywhere.
I was trying to
Okay,
make any connection.
okay.
Okay. Then Luke thinks it's really a pity. He was looking forward to killing his nephew and the wench.
Yes.
And I thought, because the only connection I remembered was Isam and Lan, but I forgot about the Luke and Rand.
Yeah, so he was going after Rand and Min.
Yeah.
There we
But
go.
now he's just going to have to settle for killing a bunch of wolves.
Yeah.
Slayer.
And Isam likes killing wolves more than Luke does.
But they both really like it.
Yeah. But Isam and Luke are Slayer. There you go.
Yeah, and that ends this very exciting chapter.
I love it. So much happens. It's
do.
great.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's my favorite. It's so good.
Okay,
And
so...
then Rand and his lack of emotions.
I know. Okay, now before we go, I do have something for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now, I didn't know which way I was gonna land. So I did come prepared.
Okay.
But good thing it's Christmas. And this isn't a I was wrong gift. This is a Merry Christmas. You want some whiskey?
What? Did you hide it?
I did. I hid it.
Holy moly.
I hid it over here.
The
and it's your
apple
favorite.
whiskey. I'm so happy you didn't pull this out at the beginning.
No, because I knew I couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wasn't sure.
And also, I don't want to give it back now. I know I said that I would probably give it back, but I don't want to give it back.
But it's not an I was wrong.
That's
I
a
was whiskey
sneaky
bottle.
back drawer you hid that in.
Yeah, I know.
That's amazing.
I know. It's
Yeah,
good.
that's a good hiding spot.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Now you have something to drink.
Not conceding, though.
Over the Christmas break.
Okay.
Not conceding.
Not conceding.
No. I didn't know which way I was going to fall, actually.
That's
so I'm glad that I'm sticking to my guns. And also, you can have some whiskey. But this isn't the conceding whiskey.
Okay. So you're saying
yeah.
that if I'm right, I get another bottle of whiskey.
Well, yeah, yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to make
that's
sure.
Christmas whiskey.
Okay, Christmas whiskey, separate.
Holiday whiskey.
Okay.
Different.
Yeah.
Than Time-Andred / we need a new name. / Oathsingar whiskey.
Okay.
Because that also kind of, I'll take it.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I get that I'm wrong, but I'll still accept a half win.
Okay.
That's how I've shifted.
I'm cool with that.
And no matter what, I also just want an ice cream cake. I've learned that today.
Okay.
All right, this has gone on for a really long time. So I'm going to say that before you go and get ambushed in a trap that you set, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yep, it's part of the pattern.
All right, that'll do it for us tonight. But thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Danny and Brett, edited by Danny, produced by Danny and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Marta Thier, Margaret, Charlie Haz, Hannah Green, Lance Barden, Elspeth Ahola, and Adam, with music by Audionautics. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you're interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else, and at the time of this recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. You can find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. Plus, find us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. And as always, be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.